Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue to give you the ish that we talk. And now that is out the way, I will not act like I'm on AM fucking radio. What the fuck's the deal, all of you ugly motherfuckers? What's poppin'? I'm here with you. We here together. We gonna make this shit pop. Lindsay, what the fuck is going on? My dog.
Like, what will be a breaking point for you where you just like, you know what, I'm out?
All right. Yeah, so I was about to say this is where we asked the audience.
Yeah.
So
you already
said cheating, right?
Yeah. Cheating.
Okay.
So
Anybody
you're
else?
not giving a pass or nothing like that.
There ain't no way.
That's no way.
Do it once and do it twice. There ain't no way. You lose the second result.
So it's like if it's just cheating for her, like, so if it's cheating for you the same way too? Yeah. So like if you cheat, do you feel like I need to leave this relationship?
If I would ever cheat, I would leave you first. I would leave you first.
You such a gentleman.
I do what I do.
You such a gentleman. That shit don't happen in real life, but you such a gentleman. Anything else?
In the moment.
In the moment.
That's different. I wouldn't be in the moment.
So you wouldn't put yourself in the moment. I got you.
Yeah. Like, make it make sense. Like, cause what's the moment?
When I decide it's the moment, it's the moment.
Oh, okay.
If I never say to myself, like, I should probably get out of here.
So like, do the whole time you just like, oh no, this cool. This ain't. We just chilling. She just want to rub my back. That's cool. Ain't nobody tripping. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, okay. Oh, all right. You ain't got to kiss my neck. That's okay. Cool. This is not the moment yet.
Not yet.
It's not the moment yet.
I didn't do it.
So it's like, now my pants is down. This is.
If she pulls them down.
Oh, this ain't the moment. This ain't the moment. This ain't the moment.
She did it.
This ain't the moment. So when is the moment? When you're done, you're like, oh, yeah, this is the moment.
I was supposed to go to the store. I was gone for 2 hours.
I had to go get my bro,
That's
right?
the moment. Yep.
That's the moment.
That's the moment.
Okay, so that's your.
What you
So this is cheating for you. Like, if she cheats, oh hell no. But like, I just had to wait on the moment. Like, no. That's ain't the moment. That wasn't the moment. No, she sucked my d- I didn't ask for it.
I don't say the words.
It's like, no, I didn't know. You know when I feel something wrong, baby, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. When she was like, I was like, maybe it's time for me. Ain't no restaurateur gonna run up on Keith Lee. Let's just end that shit right there. Y'all talk a lot of shit, but y'all not about to run up on. Ain't nobody about to run up on him, slap no food out his face, and tell him, bitch, what? Like, that's just not gonna happen in no way, shape, possible.
So Saucy Santana got in on it. He pretty much was like, tag me in. And he snapped on DJ Academics and told him to pull up. He was like, go to my page. We got all kinds of bookings. We outside. Come pull up at one of the bookings, and I'll beat your motherfucking ass.
Saucy Santana just doesn't look like the homosexual man that you gonna hit, and he looks like that dude off of Low Down Dirty Shame. He ain't about to grab his face and be like, "Oh, Bernard,
him, you slut." But no,
he about to beat the dog shit out of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm laughing because it's gonna be so funny because you're gonna see a dude massively beating the shit out of a man with an open fist, and you gonna hear bitch.
What up, everybody? This is the Ish That We Talk. You know who I am. I am Lily. I am the host of this show. I try to give y'all some commentary to run through this crazy BS that we go through. But I am also with the phenomenal, the best lady to be in the background. The lady that pushes the bells and the whistles, the lady that made sure that the interwebs knew exactly who her short king of a cousin was. Gotta give her the utmost respect for that. So let's give a round of applause for Lindsay.
Hey, how's it going? We got Tohi in the building. Hey, y'all, right on time this time. Yep, you sure are.
You are like, you know what? Kudos for that, man. Listen,
Right.
I'm gonna shoot you a cash app of $1. You did it. You did your thing.
You did
You know
your
what I'm
big
saying?
one.
I can only afford $1. You got $1 for showing up on time. You know?
Right.
But this is the Ish We Talk. We got the pleasantries out the way, but you know I always got to give a shout out to Twitch. You rascals of a different dynamic of diabolical or ultra cool to me. And also, I got to give a shout out to TikTok. My TikTok followers. Listen, I'm so glad that y'all are here. And if you're watching this show, I'm so glad that you're watching the show. Follow me, follow Lindsay, follow the Ish That We Talk. We're going to continue to give you more. And then on my TikTok, I'm just going to be giving you my real life experience. Some of y'all have seen some of the shenanigans that I talk about on my TikTok, but I always try to manage to pull it back to the podcast because that is what it's all about at the end of the day. Getting more followers, getting more views, because listen, we want to make this our living. We want to say, hey, this is what we do, and we ain't got to punch in to no clock. I ain't going to try to be on no extra and be like, I'm tired of working for the white man. Nah, we all going to end up working for the white man. The white man is the one to print the blue money. I'm just saying, I want to work for I want to do what I do in order to continue to work for that white man.
You're right. You want to be able to enjoy your time on the clock.
And you feel me? But all that outside, Lindsay, how's your health? How's your wealth? What's going on, my dog?
Nothing too much. I ended Black History Month with the hot boys. We on fire, right?
Yeah, you did.
So shout out to Lil Wayne, BG, Turk, Juvie, the Big Timers, Baby, and Manny Fresh. They put on a great show in St. Louis. We had to run down there for the one time and run right back because that's what we do. We're not afraid of the highway.
That's what's up. You know what? I don't get on the highway much, but I will drop down into Columbia and St. Louis. I will do that. So because you know me, I've said this on this podcast plenty of times, there will be no Missouri slander for me.
Yeah. And it was so funny. So I went with my sister, Ashley, who's a friend to the show. And this was her first time going to a concert in St. Louis. And I didn't realize it till we was there. And she was like, damn, all these men, they look good. She was like, they ain't got that in Kansas City.
Yeah, they do, Ashley. Don't do that. Don't do that. As a person that frequents St. Louis often, I'm going to tell you, don't think you're going to go out there and see that all the time.
Man, I was like, hold on, is this your first time at a concert in St. Louis? She was like, yeah. I said, oh, okay. That's what it is. I said, you're not used to seeing this. That's why. Yeah. I was like, once you get used to it, it's like they all look the same.
And listen, and it's no Missouri slander to St. Louis. But I'm just going to be honest with you. Ashley, because you my cousin. You probably did see a lot of fine men. Some of them, I ain't even going to say some of them. The majority of them probably was from Illinois.
Probably.
Because it is East St. Louis, and then it's St. Louis. East St. Louis always frequents.
Yeah.
St. Louis. Just like we have Kansas City and Kansas City, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to be aware of that because you'll bag somebody from St. Louis and you'll be like, nah, they from St. Louis, and they tell you they from East St. Louis, and that demographic is a whole nother ball game.
Ooh, like literally. Like, I mean, it's the same with Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. It's literally light and dark. Like,
It's night and day.
yeah,
Listen, don't you tell me I fuck with a nigga from Kansas City, and I say from Kansas or Missouri, because
right.
motherfuckers be like Kansas, and I'll be like, yeah, go ahead and automatically knock that country shit out because we don't do that.
Right, like, are they from the dot? Like,
Yeah, if they from the dot, they do a lot of country shit. Them niggas still wear airbrush shirts.
Right. They not like us.
And ain't nothing wrong. And that's because I got a lot of homies in Kansas. Ain't nothing wrong. My girl, her family from Kansas. And I tell her that's the only downfall she has. Everything else about her is phenomenal.
Yeah,
they just do a lot of country shit. That
like they matchy. Like if they're wearing bright orange, they're wearing bright orange hat, bright orange shirt. Their jeans got bright orange tones. Their Nikes are all bright orange. Like everything will be bright orange. They're so fucking matchy. That is some country ass shit.
Some country shit. At the same time, I say this, like I said, I won't disrespect. I've met some of the realest people in the world from Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
I got some homeboys from Kansas that'll come over here and light some shit up. And that's just real, and that's just real talking. When I say light shit up, I ain't even talking about being on no gangster shit. I'm talking about they will turn the fuck the party out. Like if the party is dumb, and it's a nail, and this motherfucker will be the best fucking party you've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's some mad cool people, in Kansas. Shit, I lived in Kansas for a few years. I lived in Johnson County, so it's a little different. But when I was in Kansas, it was cool. But it's cool people on both sides.
It is.
Yeah, all jokes aside, it's cool people on both sides.
But we just don't do that extra country.
Right. We ain't extra country. But
well, if you were seeing
same thing with St. Louis too.
Yeah, but back to St. Louis and my cousin Ashley. Some of especially most people, and because I frequent St. Louis, you will know a nigga from St. Louis. Everybody. When people tell me I ain't from Kansas City for real, and I look at them, the first thing I say, you from St. Louis, because everybody looks a certain way in St. Louis. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
Not even gonna lie.
A little bit. They look a certain way and they talk a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's only
think they always related.
That's the crazy part. It's like it's only a 3-hour difference, but yeah, you would think we in 2 different states the way we talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's one thing because me being a Missouri native, it's one thing that I know. Just like if you're not from my demographic, but you always frequent here, you know a nigga from Kansas City, and then you know a nigga who's from Grandview, but says he's from Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
You know a nigga from Lee Summit, but he says he's from Kansas City. Or you know a nigga from Raymore that says he's from Kansas. It's a look and it's a way that they act that you know for real. Yeah. It's the same way in St. Louis. When a nigga tell me he's from St. Louis and I look him up and down, I know he ain't really from St. Louis. You might be from the outskirts. And I ain't even gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it real. If he dressed to the nines, like I always fly every time you see him, and he claims St. Louis, that's East St. Louis.
Yeah.
That's East St. Louis all day. Because them niggas will hustle in $300 shoes and $1,000 jeans.
Like it's nothing.
That's the type of time them niggas be on.
Yeah. They'll do it like it's nothing.
Yep. And that's just, you know what I'm saying? That's from my perspective. But the more and more you go back and forth to St. Louis, the more and more you gonna know I ain't lying about that shit.
Yeah. One thing that I did see at the concert is it was real cool to see the Hot Boys together. The Hot Boys and the Big Timers, because I missed the Cash Money Rough Riders tour. So since I missed that tour, I was able it was kind of like it was a big deal, but it wasn't, especially because of how last minute I put this together. Literally put it together the day of. But it was in the back of my mind, because I was just like, if I go, I go. If I don't, I don't. But then I was like, I really need to go, especially because of the fact that I missed them the first time, when they was in their heyday. So I was able to go see them. Everybody is in good health. Everybody's alive and in good health, I should say. And I went to see Juvenile and Manny Fresh in Chicago back in August. So that was a big deal for me back then. So to see this turn around and be all of them this time, it was a big deal, because I was a huge Cash Money fan.
Me and you both. See, and I'm glad you said that, because I get so many feuds and backlash from people saying everybody from the city was No Limit fans. And I honestly have to say, and shout out to my cousin Weedy for letting me tour the world with him damn near. Like, I went to a lot of places messing with my cousin Weedy, but I was always this city was enabled and No Limit Soldier shit. But when Weedy took me down to Galveston one time, when Cash Money was just starting out, I'll take that lie back. It wasn't just starting out, but 400 Degrees just came out. Underground, not Universal.
Right.
Underground.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when I got that, I was gone. I'm talking about, and Weedy will tell you this shit. Whenever he get out of jail, he like, man, he'll tell you, man, that little nigga went and got every Cash Money motherfucking record a scene, and every store I ever went to, I picked up a Cash Money, because 400 Degrees was so dope. I wanted to listen to every fucking thing that Cash Money had, and I didn't listen to not one thing No Limit did anymore.
Yeah.
And no downplay to No Limit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was just truly more of a Cash Money fan. I was more at that time. I was more of a real on that side. I was more of on that side of things, where that I related to that more.
Yeah. If we could just take a minute to go back to like the mentality of like Kansas City at the time, like the late 90s, it was like, yeah, we were big on No Limit. But that's pretty much all that we were getting from New Orleans was No Limit at the time. And then they were affiliated with California, and our affiliation with California. So we was like, Kansas City was on everything No Limit. But when Cash Money came out, it was something totally different. Like, we didn't know the ins and outs of what was going on behind the scenes with No Limit. We didn't know how monumental outside of the priority deal. We didn't know we didn't know like the ins and outs and how big of a deal Master P was on the business side. You know what I'm saying? We just knew he was the owner of the record label. We knew he had the huge priority deal, and that was it. But when we heard Cash Money, it was something totally different. And I feel like they incorporated the New Orleans culture more than No Limit. So it made it even that much more different for us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we was big No Limit fans, but we was also big Cash Money fans. So we just, at one point, we just loved everything out of New Orleans. Like, and then I was the same thing, like, because when they got their priority deal, they had a lot of albums already out that was independent before. Not that priority, Universal deal. Yeah. So when they got their Universal deal, they had a whole lot of albums out that was independent prior to the Universal deal. And I remember one summer, we me, my mom, and my sister, we like pretty much traveled the South. And one of the places we went to was New Orleans, and I made it my business to be like, because we was in the French Quarters, and they had a record store that was in the French Quarters, and I was like, we have to go to this record store because I need to get a Cash Money album, because it was before they started re-releasing their backlog. So we go to this record store, and then we was talking to the guy in the store, and he showed us all the Cash Money stuff and whatnot, and he showed, like, it was the first Hot Boys album, Get It How You Live. That's
Yep.
the album I ended up getting, because I was like, that's everybody, because everybody outside of Turk, everybody had albums out, you know. So they was like this is, you know, this is the first Hot Boys album or whatever. So, and then that's when the dude told us that they about to re-release their backlog. So I was like, well, shoot, I'm gonna get this one now. I'm not even gonna wait for them to re-release, because this is like authentic. All it says is Cash Money. It don't say Universal or nothing like that. Like, this is straight. So that's what I ended up getting. They ended up playing a song last night from that album. I was like, whoa, what? So
That's hard.
yeah,
That's hard.
yeah.
Because I tell people all the time, like, dude, you know, I got Cash Money albums before they got the Universal deal, and before that they were scratching over some shit that niggas was saying. Like those hits where motherfuckers was like, hey man, motherfuckers was going over here. You know, they all that old extra shit because they didn't want to implicate them niggas in anything.
Yeah.
I was getting albums way before that. I was getting albums where it was straight out. Just because before High, and all that, like, blew up on Universal. And when we went to Galveston, the first song I ever heard was "Come and Take a Walk with Me, Be up on the side with me, do a homicide with me.
Right.
Be up in the ride with me." Who me? A 90's on the side with me.
Hey.
Listen, I don't know what it was, but when I heard that, I was like, hey man, what's that? And the nigga, I'll never forget this shit I'm talking about. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. Dude, cool ass dude. He was like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from Kansas City. He like, nigga, this that South shit for real, for real, for real. And I'm like, in my mind, because I'm petty as fuck, I've been petty my whole life. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck you mean the South shit for real, nigga? What the fuck you think you at? Like, we in Texas, nigga. Fuck you talking about? Be like, nah, these them New Orleans cats, man, that Cash Money, UNLV, you ain't never heard of UNLV? I'm like, yeah. He like, they on that, they from UNLV camp. And I was like, oh. And I'm like, okay. So, dude, and it's one thing I always real respect about Texas. Them niggas, if they fuck with you, they fuck with you. The niggas do motherfucking CD. Here, I'll buy a bitch tomorrow. And gave me the fucking CD. Yeah. I'm in my cousin Weedy card. Weedy like, fuck it, nigga, put it in.
Right.
Listen, by the time it was two things that we changed the game with in the city, and I always say this, I'll stand my ground on this. Me and my cousin Piggy changed the game because, one, we came down listening to 400 Degrees the first time we came back. Next time we came, we played Mike Jones when nobody heard Mike Jones. So I always say the reason why I'm a fan is because I think, and and it's a big think. It ain't like I did this for real, but I think I'm one of the first niggas that brought that shit to the town because nobody was listening to Cash Money. Yeah.
You possibly.
And then all of a sudden, you start seeing posters in the back of Double XL. I'm gonna tell you how far advanced I was before the poster came out. My whole block knew 400 Degrees. Yeah. My whole block knew that. My whole block was rapping to that shit. And then I went and got BG True Story. I went and got Get It How You Live. I went and got Soldier Rags. I'm talking about. I was engulfed. Yeah. You know what I used to do is, like, when we would go out of town, I would record the radio. Because I always hated the radio up here.
because they was just playing the hits, and they would play these same 5 hits on a loop, and it was just annoying, especially for it to be black owned, and it's still black owned to this day, and it's supposed to be so monumental and historic and all this type of stuff. Like the radio here gets on my nerves. Still to this day gets on my nerves.
I agree.
But I would go to other cities and I would record the radio, and because they would be playing all kinds of stuff that you would just never hear, and they would really shine a big light on their local talent. We didn't do that here for a long time. Like you had to go to Seven Heaven and stuff like that to be up on the local stuff. And I remember hearing Soldier Rag. That was one of the songs that I recorded. And when High came out, I was like, that sounded like the dude on Soldier Rag. And I didn't like Soldier Rag. I did not like Soldier Rag. But I didn't like it because it was the radio version. You know, because when the album came out, you know, the original album had Soldier Rag on it. So when I listened to it on 400 Degrees, I was like, okay, this one sounds better than the one that I had. Because the one that I had was the radio version, and I could not stand that damn song.
Okay, because I thought you was talking about the album. I'm like, nigga, the album was hard.
No, not the album, because I was recording the radio. So I recorded the song Soldier Rag because they played it on the radio. So, but I never liked it until I got 400 Degrees. And when I heard it on 400 Degrees, I was like, okay, it's cool. But yeah, I could not stand the radio version because he would go, "You sold your partner, put up your Soldier Rag," and you know, on the real version, he say "nigga." So it's like it's a big difference. It doesn't sound like it should be a big difference, but it's a big difference. So to me, I should say, but yeah, it's just, you know, the only thing I was really annoyed about outside of being late, but only thing I was really annoyed about was that like my section wasn't hyped like they should have been. You know what I mean? Because I was just like, why ain't nobody up? Like these are good songs, you know, but we live in a day and age where, you know, the majority of the fans are Lil Wayne fans. So
that's what I was about to say. You have to understand the demographic that we're around now, even if they're our age. They didn't know what I'm saying. Only time they were probably listening to that shit is on MTV. So they don't know like the real aspect of what it was for us to do that shit. Like we were even Jasmine even told me one time, she was like, you know, sometimes you make me mad because you don't be liking to do stuff because you already done it. And I'm like, yeah, it's like we were real traveled into it. Was one point in my life where we were actually just going down south to listen to music. Like because at the time when I wanted to be a hip hop artist, I always thought down south was the Mecca because and I ain't got nothing to do with Atlanta. I'm gonna keep it 100, even though Atlanta is dope and Atlanta is really the Mecca. When I was trying to be a hip hop artist, I was just enamored with the South period because them niggas was actually catering to each other. They wasn't trying to sound like nobody else. They were trying to sound like them. They were really like, in the immortal words of Andre 3000, the South got something to say. And so I was enamored in that shit. Like we would go down there just to get mixtapes. Real talk, hand to the Bible. Like we'll be sitting there on a Friday and be like, man, I'm tired of listening to this song. I'll never forget one time we was listening to Big Pokey, and we was like, man, shit, we didn't listen to this too much. We gotta go get another mixtape. Like real talk, hand to the Bible. We got to get another mixtape. We keep listening to the same mixtape, and shit, we just said, hey man, give me a minute and drop my son off. We didn't even trip off of it. We did our own thing. We was chilling, you know, smoking, drinking, doing whatever. That nigga pulled up and he was like, shit, y'all ready to go? And we like, ready to go where? And he was like, shit, we about to go out of town. And I was like, huh? I was thrown off. Like I was so thrown off. He was like, yeah, we just know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go to the street, get some gas and wop, and then we gonna go out of town, get some music. I'm thinking he bullshitting. We just gonna drive around, whatever, we gonna come back home. So I went and got a fucking 36 pack of beer. Cause I'm like, yeah, we about to be on some bullshit. Dude. Dude.
Yeah.
Once we got through Oklahoma, I was like, I'm not never touching this beer again. I'm fucked up. I can't. I'm gonna leave this right here. We really on a trip.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's the type of time we was on. Like we was picking up so much shit. Just outside, just grabbing mixtapes. Like we was on that type of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what's up. And that's cool when you can just, hop in the car and just ride out.
Yeah, he was on that shit. He went and
Yeah.
dropped this boy off and came on back. You know what I'm saying? Probably shit showered and shaved, came on back and was like, shit, y'all ready to go? Nigga, I still got on yesterday clothes. Well, fuck it, we about to go.
Right. Yeah, but that's dope. That's dope. It just, I don't know. It's just like it was like this dude that sat like right in front of us. He didn't get up till the old Hot Boy songs was getting played, and that was so funny. And like the mixtape Wayne, because he played some stuff from the mixtape. So the mixtape Wayne stuff he got out, but all the other times he was sitting there chilling. He was just like, I brought my girl and this her thing. But he had on a Hot Boy shirt, so I was like, he's a fan, but he's not getting up till them Hot Boy songs came on. Then we was sitting next to, on both sides, we sitting next to some white folks. The girl that sat next to me, every Wayne song she was up, she was super hyped. And then like I was just thinking like, okay, she's a Wayne fan. But then a couple of them Hot Boy songs she got up, so I was like, okay, she did her research because the girl was young. So I was like, okay, she did her research for real. But like them people that was on Ashley's side, they didn't get up to the Wayne stuff, which was to be expected. So I'm not.
Wayne's a big deal.
Like, yeah. So I'm not.
Let's not downplay Wayne at all. Wayne's a big fucking deal.
Right. I'm not hating that at all. And technically it's his tour. So like the Hot Boys is like a featured artist. So I'm not hating that. It's just you can tell. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, these people are not hype enough for me. Like they need to get up. Like so yeah. But I was just like, I was asking the people around, I was like, were y'all here on time? Because I want to know what happened before.
Man.
So but yeah.
I get it being, I mean, I ain't even gonna lie, because you was late and you got to tell in. I get maybe why they were sitting, because I just me keeping it a whole beam with everybody. Like, you might move around when BG pop up, but a lot of people didn't know Turk. So a lot of people ain't gonna move, and that's gonna somber the audience. Even know what I'm saying? Even if they was still hype, it's gonna somber them, and they gonna stay seated because they just like, okay, they gonna run through their rambles, and we gonna listen to it. Maybe it's something we like, but we just gonna see. So you know what I'm saying? I can see that happening.
Yeah, I can see that
happening. When Juvenile and Wayne pop up though, like, nah, that's just a whole fucking. That's an avalanche of not only hits but anthems.
Yeah. Right. And then this is my thing, because I was, thinking about, that's nostalgia. So I'm thinking about back in the day, like, I remember Wayne was the weakest out of all of them. And I remember Juvie was the superstar. And that's how they promoted Cash Money with Juvenile being the face. So it's like, it's so wild that things have changed. And now Wayne is like the greatest rapper alive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
and that was Chess. That's one I would shout out to Baby. That was Chess. Baby knew, because Wayne was so young. Baby knew Wayne was gonna be the best out of everybody. Yeah. And I don't give a fuck when nobody say they could be that kind and do whatever the fuck they want to say and be like, nah, he was just trying to get money. Nah, Baby way more smarter than y'all think Baby is. Y'all got to give him credit.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%. 1,000%. But I'll say this one thing and then we can move on. One thing that irritated me, because even the girl that sat next to me, even though she did her research, she was sitting down on this. One thing that irritated me was the fact that everybody was sitting, in my section at least, everybody was fucking sitting down on Bling Bling. I'm like, are y'all kidding me? I wanted to give a history lesson right then and there. Like, do y'all understand? Bling Bling was not a thing until this
never
song.
Fucking happened.
Right. Like, nobody was saying Bling Bling. They put that in the fucking dictionary because of them. Like, dude, like, are y'all kidding me? And y'all sitting down?
What a time to be alive.
Right. Like,
We
what?
actually witness people make work. Cash Money and E40, greatest people in the world, and we are actually alive to actually know these people.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Like,
Absolutely. I was just
dude.
like, what?
And
Like,
it's gonna
serious.
sound weird, but like now I know what it felt like to live in a world with Thomas Jefferson or Thomas Edison, excuse me.
Mhm.
It's like to be a part of an invention, like it's amazing. Like, cause as you get older, cause like you think about it, like you just said, before Cash Money, bling bling was not a thing. It is
Not a thing at
literally in the
all.
dictionary now.
Yes, yes. 100%. And I'm like, y'all don't understand how monumental this fucking song is. And then this goes back to what I was just saying. Like, Wayne's
a fucking goat. Wayne
yeah, because all he
made a
did was the chorus on that song. That's it. And it was the biggest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? But but he
Wayne
was
made
considered the weakest one.
Wayne turned a sound
Mhm.
into a literal word.
Yeah.
Not only I'll even take that back. I'll take that from him. Wayne turned a feeling into a word. When you seen diamonds shine, Wayne literally, audience, I don't know if y'all understand this. He literally heard the sound right then and there and made it.
Yes.
He's seeing it, he said, man, that shit go off like bling bling.
Mm-hmm.
And motherfuckers like, yeah, whatever. Bye, 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 bye. And then bling bling came out, and fast forward 2025. If you say bling bling, niggas know you're talking about how diamonds shine.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like, it's people that are grown as hell that were not alive when Bling Bling came out, and that's all they know is Bling Bling.
All they know is
Like,
bling bling. When you say
Bling Bling
diamonds,
is
they say
king.
what? Bling bling?
Right.
You gotta go bling bling. If it don't go bling bling, and they're not, diamonds don't make a sound.
Not one. Not one.
That's what I'm trying to tell the audience. Diamonds don't make a sound, but when you see the shine, you hear bling bling.
Bling Bling.
That's crazy as fuck.
Yes. 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 100%. And folks will sit down on that song. I was like, this section is pissing me off. Like, this section is pissing me off. And then Ashley, she's never seen Wayne in person. This is my second time seeing Wayne. And the first time was in St. Louis. But she saw him I think she said like a year or so ago. He did a concert for some sporting event. And she's the one that pointed out to me that every time he gets done with a song, he says, "Thank you." And she was like, "He is cracking me up. He always does that." And I'm like, "What?" Because I've never noticed it. And she was like, "He says thank you after every song." And he literally does that. It is funny. It is so funny. Because like he'll be like, "Thank you." Like he about to get off. "Thank you." And it go to the next song. But I thought it's cute, but it's funny. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't hear that, you know.
It's
But, yeah.
and like Lil Wayne, though, he's only alive today because people like him.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah,
I mean,
and he makes that known. He makes that known.
And
And people,
that's a humble artist, and that's why you got to
very
respect and love Wayne.
Yeah.
Because Wayne does that.
Yeah.
Some people don't. They won't go through that. They'll just think you supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne,
Yeah.
know you ain't supposed to be here. You chose to be here.
Right. Right. He has this whole spiel that he does at the beginning and at the end where he's just basically saying like, "I'm not shit without y'all," and all that. Like what he said in that message after he didn't get Super Bowl. You know, so, but I was just like, you know, because people was trying to downplay his performance in his later years and stuff like that. Like y'all couldn't see this on the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, his performance was great, and he could have most definitely done the Super Bowl without any problem. If he on this tour, and he's doing these shows, he most definitely could have done the Super Bowl.
You know what? I seen you post that, and I ain't even gonna lie to you. The more and more I watch Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne's just a performer. I mean, he can be a militant, he can do whatever, he can help with a revolution, but Lil Wayne is one of those people that you got to respect, where he knows an artist is not going to be the one that leads you to whatever light it is. With that being said, you know where everybody is going to jump up to is when he does this.
Yeah.
And whatever beat comes on after that, it is going to fucking tear the house down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Whatever.
100%.
So and the more and more you fight for this, the more, like, cause at first, you know me, I'm a realist. I go with the times, and I had my discrepancies about that shit. But and the more and more I think about it, I'm like, and the more and more that this tour is gaining momentum, the more and more I'm like, Wayne is actually putting a staple out of how just dope of an artist he is, period. Regardless of past transgressions of what he did outside of music, Wayne in music from 2005 to 2015 was the best thing smoking, and that's just the truth.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? I would say 2004 because that's when the first Carter came out. I feel like that was the turn. That was the first Carter was the turn for him to be the greatest rapper.
Yeah, I give you that.
Yeah,
and he did that, and he did it, and then not only because people don't give Wayne his just his just due. Not only was he able to be the best thing smoking for a decade plus, if we want to keep it real, he did the Kobe route. He played the lane for a couple years and then became the lane for the next couple of years.
And he birthed a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, if it wasn't for Wayne, we have to realize that a lot of these people that you're listening to now wouldn't have never even been shit without either Wayne backing them or a fucking Lil Wayne feature.
Right.
Let's keep it a bean there.
Yeah.
The best female rapper alive right now is Nicki Minaj. Where she come from?
Right. Young Money.
Like, and don't get it twisted. I'm not acting like she ain't from New York and she didn't have New York plugs, but who made her who she is?
When nobody, like, for real, let's just keep it one. When nobody be listening to her had it not been for that cosign. Because there's a lot of great female artists that don't get the recognition they deserve. But they don't have that cosign. Or if they have that cosign, that's it. Like, it starts and stops at the cosign. Like, Lil Wayne pretty much held her hand and ushered her in. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, on top of anybody that was falling off, if Wayne liked you, and I'm gonna keep it 100, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I've been a Lil Wayne fan. Anybody that fell off, you ain't heard from him in a couple of years, Wayne jump on the feature, all of a sudden, who them niggas are the best. Or I'll even just do this. Y'all never knew about Titty Boy.
Okay.
But y'all knew about 2 Chainz. And you know why? Because Wayne co-signed that.
Right.
Like, let's just keep it a bean. Let's just call a spade a spade. The motherfuckers that y'all think are the goats or the leaders, the board of what rap is, Wayne made sure they was a part of that board.
And let's be clear, they were signed to Ludacris. You know what I'm saying? And Ludacris was a big deal at the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially with his success being an executive signing Chingy. You know what I mean? So the fact that he had that Lil Wayne cosign, I don't think that he would have been able to turn into 2 Chainz and been able to get signed to Kanye or anything like that if it wasn't for that song.
Nah.
So
like, you had to pay homage to what Lil Wayne was at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just keep it a total bean. Like
And
Wayne
make it
did
rain.
something. That I'll say this right now that a lot of people are they act like they sleep on. But I'm gonna keep it a total bean and 100 with a lot of you niggas. Y'all wouldn't even know real rock and roll until Lil Wayne start sampling and start getting on features that you niggas never knew about. Wayne brought, as much as you want to say Wayne is so New Orleans, Wayne brought the West Coast and the East Coast to different genres. That's why he did it so dopely. When Drake came out, nobody ever questioned why this light-skinned nigga was singing on a track.
Yeah.
Nobody ever questioned that. You know why? Because it's backing. It's Lil Wayne backing. Because Wayne start getting on that shit and Wayne start destroying that shit. And so when he can come in and harmonize like his jazz ass daddy, nobody said nothing because shit, he behind that shit. He behind Wayne. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to Wayne. Wayne pull out a guitar and only know 2 strings. He don't know how to play that motherfucker for real, but he know how to do blam, 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 and make a whole song out of it.
Okay. My leather's so soft.
Blam,
Right.
blam,
One of the hardest songs on that album. And I go so hard.
Man.
Right?
And I go so hard.
Do you hear the guitar string? Blam, 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 blam. Blam, 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 blam,
Right.
blam, 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 blam. No, that ain't no.
Right. That's all I'm gonna get. That's all you paid for.
That ain't Lenny. That ain't Lenny Kravitz. That's Lil Wayne.
Right. But then, like, he even did the rock albums. I bought Rebirth.
I bought Rebirth.
You know yeah, like Wayne is dope.
Rebirth. I Am Not a Human.
Yep, I'm Not a Human too. I got the second one. But yeah, like Wayne is dope. So I get a lot of them people, you know, just being Wayne fans and not knowing the older stuff. But yeah, I was here for it. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I made that pilgrimage to St. Louis and back. But yeah. And we just, you know, gave Lil Wayne his flowers for the first almost hour. So yeah.
You know what? We did. and he deserves it. Like, no shit. Like
100%.
Wayne deserves his flowers. Like, I don't, as much as I'm gonna still have my controversy about the Super Bowl, but you know, like his body of work, thinking about who Lil Wayne is, was like, yeah, I understand why people was upset about the Super Bowl. And I know who Lil Wayne is in a whole. I just think, you know, and this time, what a time to be alive, because we're actually gonna watch a rapper go out this game like the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1000%. So yeah, shout out to Lil Wayne, shout out to the Hot Boys, shout out to the Big Timers, shout out to Cash Money, Young Money, shout out to all of them. But yeah, 50 minutes in, ready to get into these topics?
Man, let's get into these topics, because that was not a topic.
Not at all. But you know, when it's Wayne, you know, we're gonna talk. So, but first things first. Well, first things second, I should say. Which unfortunately we found out today about Miss Angie Stone. She passed away, and may she rest in peace. Yeah. She was in a car wreck. I went to her Instagram before we started, and she did an Instagram live. That was her last thing that she posted. And come to find out, which they said in the report that she was traveling from Alabama, but that's where they stopped. An 18-wheeler hit her. Hit her Sprinter van, and that's how she passed away, unfortunately. But yeah, she had a show last night in Alabama, and they were traveling to North Carolina, and she's supposed to have a show tonight. No, not North Carolina, Baltimore. She's supposed to have a show tonight in Baltimore. So You know, that is so sad. That is so sad. And her daughter pretty much confirmed it. And in a post, she said, "My mommy is gone." That is so sad. So yeah, so prayers to her family, and may she rest in peace. She was a big deal in the neo soul realm. You know, bringing that to the forefront and being pretty much the face of neo soul. Um,
Oh my God! Like
yeah.
uh, um, her, Erica Badu,
Mm-hmm.
Jill Scott,
Yep.
Music Soul Child,
Yep.
Bilal.
Yep.
These were Floetry.
Yeah.
These were. I hate that this. It's not a genre anymore, and but I know why. Roots. Even though Roots, you know, is a hip hop group, they were a part of that neo soul movement.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they stopped that. They stopped that motherfucking genre of music because that genre of music was awakening black people. And not only awakening black people, they were just awakening people. It was things that they were talking about that didn't have it had nothing to do with politicalism. It was just about this everyday life that people related to. That it was just too hard for record labels to swallow because they wasn't getting paid no more from trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And they killed that genre. It was a couple of people that was able to like move past it and agree to doing certain things, but most of them people said nah. Like, hey, you know, and they just jumped underground. Angie Stone was one of those.
Mm-hmm.
She would not compromise her music for
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. And she stayed booked and busy. She stayed
Yeah.
booked.
And
You
she
know what I'm saying?
stayed booked and busy.
Um,
Nobody, you just half of y'all never heard about her, but I can guarantee you, your favorite R&B artist, she's one of their favorite R&B artists.
mhm. Yeah. And you know, even if you can't pinpoint a song of hers, what I'm gonna tell you is that you definitely know her. You know her voice, because she's made one of the most iconic intros on a TV show that you have ever heard, and that was Girlfriends.
Yep.
My
Yep.
girlfriends,
My girlfriend.
that through thick and thin. Yeah, that is her 100%.
Yep.
She wrote it and sung it.
Yep. Yep. She showed the fuck did.
Yeah. So and that was it for all 7 seasons. It was her. So rest in peace. Rest in peace to Miss Angie Stone. Yeah. She had 2 kids.
My condolences to her family,
Yeah.
her children, her cousins, her aunties, her ancestors, her mother, our father.
Yeah.
You know, her baby daddies.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, because they're hurting.
Yeah, of course.
Angie wasn't a bad woman.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I've seen. I don't know her other baby daddy, but D'Angelo speaks of her like she is made of roses and walks on a bed of cotton.
Yeah. Yeah. You've never heard anything negative from people that know her. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, like she had 2 kids. She her daughter's like our age, but her son, I want to say he's in his 20s.
Yeah, I think he's in his late 20s.
Yeah. And that's D'Angelo's son. So yeah.
And he's an artist too. I just never.
Yeah.
I've never been able to check out his music. But he's an artist as well.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, you know, our condolences. Another person that has passed away over this past week, which this is an ongoing story because what is Mr. Gene Hackman, the actor, Mr. Gene Hackman. He has he was 95 years old. Him, his wife, who was a pianist, she was 64 years old, and then one of their dogs. All three of them were found in their New Mexico home, dead. Initially, the reports were saying that it may have been carbon monoxide. Um, but now that more information is coming out, they're doing a full investigation because of the way that certain things looked in the home. For one, that wasn't their only dog. It was two other dogs, and they were fine. So that kind of rules out the whole carbon monoxide thing.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm not gonna say what people are speculating, but I will say that they found the wife in the bathroom, and they were saying that both of them were in the process of decomposing and mummifying. So it's like an ongoing investigation on what exactly happened. They're saying that they was in there at least a day, and so yeah. But like I said, they were in New Mexico, so. And then I also heard that there may have been a heater on where the wife was, so that could cause the mummification.
Yep.
So, because I was just like, how long you got to be in there before all that start? Like it couldn't have been just a day, the way that they're saying. But if a heater was on, then that could speed up the process.
Yeah, it could.
And on top of that, they're in New Mexico, where it's
With
dry
rigor
heat.
mortis and the dry heat of Mexico, also on top of a heater.
Yeah.
She's in a situation where it's at least 160 degrees.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a development story. I'm just like, if it is foul play involved, like why? And then when I was looking up pictures and stuff for the thumbnail, like they said that he was in, pretty decent health to be 95 years old. And the pictures, like one of the last pictures that they saw of them two was like out somewhere. For a 95-year-old, he looked decent. So it's like, I don't know. Like, of course, I don't know what, if anything, was going on with him health wise or anything like that. So I'm not gonna speculate anything. But it's a developing story, and we hear something a little bit every day since it happened. So
yeah.
But rest in peace to him, his wife, and the dog, and our condolences to the family.
True.
Yeah, because I mean, it's never nothing easy when somebody dies. And I just hate when people try to be like, oh, well, they were X amount of years old, they lived a full life. Like, it still hurts. It still hurts,
Right.
because like my grandma left at 95, and she wasn't supposed to leave. She was supposed to be here for forever. I don't care. So yeah.
So I'll just say this. Gene Hackman, you had a phenomenal life. I was telling my girl about you because she didn't know about you. And I was trying to talk about movies that you were in. And she had no idea what movies you were in. Even when I was naming them. But you were a part of my childhood, you wasn't a part of hers. One thing I will say is you were an actor that I could truly rely on when I knew it was a good movie when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You were in that movie, I knew that movie was a good fucking movie.
Oh yeah.
And I will always respect that about you. Even in the Superman movies.
He was not playing in no bullshit. I tell you that one.
Dude, you played the shit out of Lex Luthor. And you single-handedly in a generation made Lex Luthor who he was. Like you didn't do what the comics did. They're trying to do it now. But for you, you made Lex Luthor who Lex Luthor was. Methodical, a genius, and also dumb as fuck. Like you got all the book smarts in the world and you was plumb dumb. You made that happen. But I get it. The more and more I think about it, I get it because you had to make a nigga that smart, but just dumb where where you're allowing this alien to do this shit. Because you were amazing in this role, my nigga. I will always say that. Like I'm like, nah, for me, he was my Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it was. It was this nigga that had all this intelligence, but still couldn't figure out who the fuck Clark Kent was. Nowadays, they try to play it like, yeah, we know who this bitch ass nigga is. No, at one point, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. He played that up. Fast forward from there. You are the greatest conspiracy theorist because they put you in movies where I really was listening to what you were saying as far as conspiracies because it started making sense.
Mm.
You was one of the greatest conspiracy theorist actors that I've ever seen in my life, and I gotta respect you for it.
Yeah.
And the things that you were putting out, because this is what movies do. If y'all don't know, audience, they'll tell you the truth, but then they'll hide it in an act.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is a man that knew that, and he made it real for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knew it was going to come out eventually. And that's my conspiracy, but it's the truth. A lot of things that I've learned from movies with him end up becoming reality.
Yeah.
Case in point, he told you in a movie that America is going to give everybody a viral disease, and they're going to see who's the weak and the strong.
Mm.
He told you that.
Yeah.
In a movie in the motherfucking 90s. I ain't going to tell you the movie. You got to look at it.
Yeah.
But he said it. He said, he said, everybody's going to get a disease. Everybody's going to get it. You're all going to get it. It's who's going to survive it. It's who's going to run the free country.
Mm.
He said that. And then, fast forward, COVID happened.
Man. You know, one thing about Gene Hackman is that he's in one of my favorite movies. This movie I watch, if I catch it on TV, this is one of those movies that you will sit down and watch. And I sit down and watch it every time I catch it. And that's The Birdcage. Have you ever seen The Birdcage?
I've seen The Birdcage. I like The Bird. I ain't even gonna say I like The Birdcage. I think The Birdcage is a really good cinema.
Yes. So, yeah. And his comedic timing in that movie is great. It's very great. But yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace to Mr. Gene Hackman. You know, he started acting at like 30.
He was, and it makes more sense because he had a more realistic view of when he was acting. Like he never tried to portray a character, he just became the character.
Right.
So it would make sense that he started off at 30, where if you was like, yeah, he started off as a young actor at 12, you always want to play somebody. No, he didn't want to play nobody. He just wanted to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so I respect that. It's like the movie that I like him the most, and it ain't the movie that I was talking about earlier. It's two movies.
Mm-hmm.
One is Enemy of the State.
Yeah.
Enemy of the State, how methodical he was.
Mm-hmm.
I really felt that was the type of guy he was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm not saying that's what he was in real life, but he portrayed it so much where I was like, he probably do this shit in real time.
Right. Right.
Because it was the
It's
way,
so
'cause,
believable.
Will's is a phenomenal actor. He's gonna do his thing, and he's gonna have like little punchlines and wah. That it might be funny. Nothing was funny to Gene in that movie.
Not one thing. Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I was like, that's the look of somebody that like really lived this type of shit.
Right.
I ain't saying he do it in real time. I'm saying in the movie he played it that much.
Mm-hmm.
And then another movie that y'all gonna think, y'all gonna be like, wow, what the fuck are you doing? You reaching now. Nope. And I'm not, because I'm gonna bring it down. Ants. He was the main villain in Ants.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What I love so much about that was
Mm-hmm.
that villain was the honest to God truth. He was telling his people, we can't, if we ever let them know how much power they have, who are we? They outnumber us. They can easily overpower us. So if we're not being the stronghold,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to die. Like, we will not exist anymore. We have to keep them where they're at. Because if they ever know how strong they are, we would never be able to overcome it.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. I said, oh God, this guy is for real.
You're right. Right.
He put that in a children's movie.
Right. And it makes sense. He was totally right. Yeah. So
he was 100% right. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Right. But yeah. Rest in peace to him. Yeah. Like I said, it's a developing story. It's definitely more than what meets the eye in regards to his death. So
Gene knew too much. Gene was 95 years old.
Yeah.
Gene knew too much.
Nah, he knew too much.
He was 95. Now let's put this in perspective. He was 95. His bitch was 64. Now, y'all gonna think I'm being vulgar on this when I say this, but I'm not. I'm keeping it a total being. A 95-year-old man bagging a 64-year-old.
But he been with her for a while though.
That's even the best part of it.
Yeah.
Because even if she was 40 and started dealing with him.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
He was already 30 years her senior.
Yeah.
So at 40, he's able to not only mentally get her, but he can physically get her. Right. Like I said, I'm not going to get vulgar, but I'm just saying, at this point, you know this man knows some shit that don't nobody else know. I ain't saying it's a conspiracy, but what I will say is, the pictures I seen at 95, that nigga looked like a young 60-year-old.
I wouldn't go that far, but
for a white man,
he did not look like no young 60-year-old in 95. No, he did not.
I'm reading. What I'm saying is, he still knew some shit.
Now, he may have knew some shit. Now, what I will say, in the pictures of him being a 95-year-old, he looked like he had all his scruples. His mind looked like it was still there. Now, he needed assistance. He was on a cane, and he held on to his wife in the pictures, but I believe all his scruples were there. The Blackman Show is watching. Hey, he asked who died. We're currently talking about Gene Hackman, but before we talked about Gene Hackman, we did talk about Angie Stone that passed away today. So, but yeah, both of them passed away this past weekend. R.I.P. to both of them. But
R.I.P. to Angie Stone. R.I.P. to Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Listen, two people that were way ahead of their time.
Yeah.
You know, and I will say this, and y'all might fall on deaf ears when I say this, but the two people that we just mentioned, by the time we're gone and 86 about it here, they're going to be talked about in the book of legends.
Yeah. Now, The Black Michelle just said something interesting. He said, "I thought Gene was gay. Ain't no he
Hell no.
cared. I never got gay from Mr. Hackman."
So you might be confusing the genes, like, because it's a Gene Wilder and then it's a Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
So Gene Wilder, I can see you saying
Gene
I
Wilder,
thought he was
I
gay.
could definitely see. Okay, so let's pull up Gene Hackman. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up his
Yeah,
picture.
let's do that because I think we got his genes confused.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I never got gay from Gene Hackman. That's Gene Hackman. Yeah, no, never got gay from him.
Gene Hackman looks like, and y'all gonna hate me, and I'm sorry for saying this. Rest in peace of Gene Hackman before I say this, because
Oh, Lord.
Gene Hackman looks like he would pay for a black woman to suck his dick and then turn around and be like, "Get out of this fucking apartment, nigga." Like that's what he looks like. This is exactly what he looks like.
I don't think he looks like that.
He looks like that to me.
You are by yourself with that thought.
I was down that boat, but that's what he looks like to me. He looks like I like black women, but I don't like them. When you put us in public.
No, he gives me that he would date outside his race.
Nah, he don't give me that. He'll date outside his race.
Yeah.
And 2, they have to be in public.
Lord have mercy. Okay, so the Black Michelle says Gene Wilder was in them streets, but Hackman came off different as Lex Luthor. LOL.
He did, but he did not come off gay. Never came off gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It's nothing wrong with that. Like, hold on, because I don't want nobody.
No,
to be,
that's a shout out to Seinfeld, because I don't know if you remember that episode when they was talking about somebody being gay and they was like, not that there's anything wrong.
Yeah, I didn't watch Seinfeld like that, but
oh shit, I don't think there's an episode I didn't watch. But
yeah, I've watched a bunch of episodes.
Yeah,
I've never watched Seinfeld all the way through. I can't tell you the like layers of seasons. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But I have watched Seinfeld. Say that, but that has nothing to do with this. What I'll say is this. Nah, he never came off gay to me.
Yeah. No, I never got gay. I never even thought about sexuality. Let's just be clear. I never even thought about sexuality when it came to being. Just thought about acting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I never. You know what? Damn, even taking it back.
Yeah.
Even that standpoint of him, I know he a man. I never was like, oh, he fucking a bunch of bitches. Like, I never like.
You know,
I just never even looked at him. So gay never came in my mind because I never even thought he was doing anything. It was just Gene Hackman. He was a dude. Hackman.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, again, I was born in '83. So when I was growing up in the '80s and '90s, one thing that I was guaranteed that Gene Hackman was going to be in at least 2 or 3 of the movies that I seen growing up.
Yeah.
That was just something that was going to be a given.
Right. Yeah. It was going to be a big hit. He's going to act his ass off. He wasn't problematic at all. He was just an actor. Like, I never thought about his personal life.
Yeah, I never gave a fuck about what he was doing. Case in point, even thinking about that now, I'm glad I'm the person I am, because it's an actor, and I forget his name right now, but he stars in Doom Patrol, a series that I watched, and I wish they do a ending season for this, but they won't. But I wish they do. But I watched him in different shows and things, and I like him as an actor. And then when Jasmine was like, he's gay, I was like, so? And she was like, for real? And I was like, yeah. So, and she wasn't saying it like, why you ain't, why you don't, or why you not watching it because he gay. She was just like, I didn't know you didn't know he was gay. And I was like, no. Like, I just liked him doing what I don't give a fuck that he's gay. he's not in my demographic to give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck, period, whether he was
Yeah,
in
it's
my
like
demographic or not.
it's I mean,
It ain't
when I
got
say
nothing
my
to do with
demographic,
it.
I mean like in my inner circle to like know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck. Even if my inner circle, if somebody in my inner circle is gay, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like that's your life. You put your pants on like you put your pants on, and I put mine on like I put mine on. I'm not gonna disrespect you. Especially if we at that level where everything is just business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna disrespect you. And if we put it on the aspects of everything is just family, that's a whole nother demographic for me. And that's a whole real demographic where if you're family, not only do I not give a fuck about what you do, I will cast down anybody that judges you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I just look at it like this, because I look at this the same way as like when interracial dating comes up. If it ain't me, I don't care. I gotta worry about me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care.
I'm just on one of these levels, and I mean, people can take it how they want, but I'll just look at it like this. If you ain't hurt nobody's babies or taking people away from their families, I don't care what you're doing. Right. I really don't.
Yeah, like seriously.
I don't. And if you ain't taking people away from their families or hurting people's babies, you know, I'm not. You're not even registering to me like on that type of level of whatever freaky zeeky shit you decide to do. Like that, I mean, because I'm not a part of your freaky zeeky shit.
Right. As long as it's consenting adults, I don't care. Like I don't. So yeah,
it's a whole different thing. Like Diddy's a whole different bop.
Yeah, 100%. Because you're.
But if you like shit, I be oiling these niggas up. Yeah, I be oiling these niggas up. I be then these niggas be like, "Do you got some pills?" And I like, "Yeah, I got these." And we had a time tonight. I don't give a fuck about what just happened. That ain't my bag.
Yeah.
That is not my bag. And the reason, and it ain't even the reason. I'm gonna just keep it 100. The reason why I said that is because I think a lot of people need to separate what it is to actually be a fucking PDF file or a SA predator. Besides being a person that just lives their life.
Yeah.
A person that just lives their life, that's their life. And hey, nigga, I'm rooting for you because I don't do that shit. Sometimes I see y'all doing that shit and I'll be like, damn, I ain't even got that type of clout. Like, god damn. Y'all be living. Y'all, ooh. Right, I wish it was me. I ain't never did that shit before.
Right. Like, you got that off? Okay. More power to you.
Man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna fault you. You ain't did nothing to nobody's babies. You ain't ruined nobody's life. You haven't put nobody in trauma. You just lived a phenomenal life. Kudos to you, nigga.
Yeah. I mean, that's all that it that comes into play for me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as it's consenting adults, I don't care. Now, once it's not consensual, once it's not adults, then we have a problem.
And that's with everybody. And that's what the Itch We Talk as a whole podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I hope you don't think we're trying pushing a lane of softness to a certain type of demographic. No, this is for every demographic. If you're not hurting anybody, or if you're not taking anybody's innocence, and y'all are living y'all life, then that's exactly what the fuck you supposed to do.
100%. 100%. And if it ain't got shit to do with me, I don't care.
Yeah, and I don't give a fuck. Live your motherfucking life. If you tell me right now, hey boy, I had 4 badass transsexual bitches in the crib. Okay. I'm you at a time. Let me tell you what happened. Nope. I don't want to hear what happened. I just know you had a good time.
I may want to hear what happened.
You might. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to. But I don't want to hear if you was like, I had 4 bad
know.
bitches in them. I don't want to hear that either.
Yeah.
And
I wanna
because
hear what happened.
I don't want to be in the caught up like, damn, I need to get 4 bad bitches.
Well, I'm not gonna think like that, but
I do.
So
that's why I don't want to hear that.
To hear the details. I'm that nosy to hear the details, but
I want to hear the details. Details make me and that's no downplay to me. I just know my weaknesses. I don't want to hear details about people's life because then I start questioning what I'm doing.
Oh, I got you.
So unless you're talking about making money, I don't want to hear the details about your life because then I'll be like, damn, if you're doing that, and I know I got more money than you, then I'm gonna start saying why I ain't did that too. And that's just my weakness.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to, you got to understand what your weaknesses and your downfalls is.
Mm.
I don't want to make a downfall like that, man. I got a beautiful son that I don't need his mama don't need to tell him, yeah, because he wanted to fuck some bitches in fucking Albuquerque. Like, nope.
Well, I will hope she doesn't say that to a 1-year-old.
I'm just saying, I know my shortcomings.
Like, what kind of conversations are y'all having in that house?
Oh, we have real conversations.
That's a bit too real for a 1-year-old.
Listen, hold on. I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna keep it a beam with you, Lindsay. As soon as you meet somebody that like you really fucking that like matches you, y'all gonna have conversations. And you be like, damn, that nigga wasn't lying, because y'all have real conversations with each other.
No, I get y'all two. I get the 2 adults, but saying that to the baby, no.
Oh no, he's sweet.
Right, that's why I'm like, I hope y'all not having them combos with a 1-year-old. Like, no.
Nah, he's sweet. He's sweet. But like if I ever bounced out like that and did some extra shit, I'm pretty sure, because I know me, I'm gonna tell my son the truth, and I know his mother. His mother's gonna tell him the truth too. So his mother might be like, nah, because he wanted to fuck them bitches up in Arizona, and he didn't think about coming home. And I'm like, damn, now I gotta explain, like, right. Son, what I was into.
See, what happened before I got saved was
right. I had to have that whole conversation, like, son, before you like think I ain't shit,
right?
Understand why I did this.
Right. But yeah. So, but yeah, rest in peace, Gene Hackman. These damn lefts, boy. Woo, this is a whole episode full of lefts. All right, so
when is not an episode full of lefts?
Right.
We should just have an episode and just say it's all lefts.
Right. I'm sure that's coming. But back to the topics that we actually planned for today. So this is an update for a conversation that we had a couple of months ago with Mrs. Karen Huger. Quick rundown is that Karen Huger is a reality TV star. She's on the Real Housewives of Potomac. She's been on there the whole time. And a year ago, she had a car wreck. And she was found completely inebriated at the scene, to where she was charged with a DUI. And she went to trial and whatnot. And when we talked about it a couple months ago was when she was convicted. And right after she was convicted, the body cam footage came out, and the body cam footage was damning. It was very damning. She was wasted completely. Like, when she went to the bar and they asked her what she wanted, she said everything. Like, that's how wasted she was. So, fast forward to now, this past week, her sentencing date came. I think it was Wednesday. At the sentencing, the max that she could have gotten with the charges that she was convicted of was 2 years in jail, and then she can get probation and whatnot after. So the prosecution was requesting for her to be sentenced to 6 months and then probation. I think it was what they were requesting was for a year, but 6 months in and 6 months suspended, and then probation after. Now before she went to trial and whatnot, the prosecution offered her a plea deal of 60 days in, and she declined it and took it to trial. Even though we know that this body cam footage was in the evidence, it was, they tried to suppress it, it got denied. So, at the sentencing, the judge ended up giving her 2 years. She got 2 years, 1 suspended, and then after she's released, she has 1 year where she cannot drive regardless of what the law is. And then she has 5 years of probation after she's released. The first 3 are monitored probation. I want to say it's either the first 2 or the first 3 are monitored, but the last of that 5 years will not be monitored. She has fines of $2,900 total, and then of course, when you're on probation, you got to pay, and it's $50 a month for the whole time that you're on. Now, mind you, when she had this wreck, it was a 1-person wreck because she hit a tree, so there's no restitution because she didn't hit nobody. She didn't hit a person or anything like that. So, but she does have a lot of fines. That, like I said, total of the $2,900. Her husband spoke on her behalf. The prosecution spoke. The defense spoke. Karen spoke, and then the judge spoke. The judge read her down. One of the things that she did after she was convicted was she fired her attorney and got another attorney. I don't know if that was because of the whole, maybe this other attorney is better at sentencing or whatever the case may be. It wasn't necessarily said why she fired and got a new one. But
and not to cut you off because I'm gonna let you speak out of that. It's because that attorney wasn't doing what she wanted that attorney to do. That's why you fire an attorney when you got money. And then the new attorney probably told her to take a plea deal, but then turned around and was like, fuck it, I'm going to just take the money for you going to trial because I already know what you're going to get.
But no. That's kind of not what happened because the attorney that she fired was after she got convicted. Yeah. So that's the reason why I was saying, like, maybe this other attorney is better at, like, appeals or something like that, because that does happen. You might get a trial attorney that's not good at appeals, or their specialty is not appeals and whatnot, because I believe that happened with Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, the judge, like, the audio has been released from the court, which I'm not going to play any of it, but yeah, so you can, like, if you want to look it up, you can hear her husband, you can hear her statement, you can hear the judge, you can hear both the defense and prosecution. That's all out there. But the judge, like I said, laid into her. He not only read her for filth, but he read the justice system for filth, because the max that he had to work within, he don't feel like it was enough, which I love Karen. Karen is awesome on the show. However, Karen has a problem, and she is not trying to acknowledge the fact that she has a problem. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this is her 4th DUI.
Nigga.
Between the years of 2006 and 2011, she got 3 DUIs. So just because of the fact that it's been X amount of years since her last DUI does not take away from the fact that it's been 4 in her lifetime. 1 is too many. And the fact that you got 4, it's like, how many times you think the justice system is going to play with you about this? People lose their lives behind this. And the judge was right. Like, he was just like, are we supposed to believe that you only gotten behind the wheel of a car inebriated 4 times in your life? Like, come on now. No, you've only been caught 4 times.
So, I would just say this. Before you get in, because I'm gonna let you talk.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say in Missouri alone, 4 DUIs will give you 7 years. If you got a good lawyer, it'll give you 60 days. So put that in perspective.
Yeah.
Of the money that you have to play with these type of times. Because that's the amount of money she had to play with. To even play with that, and that's just in Missouri. I don't know any other state.
Yeah,
she's
in Maryland. Yeah, she's in Maryland, and the thing with those other DUIs is that like one of them, they ended up, you know, like you said with the whole good lawyer stuff. Like one of them, they ended up changing it to reckless driving. Then like she's gotten probation before, and so yeah, she's never done any jail time though. And I feel like, I hate to say this, but sometimes you need a harsh reality that fat meat really is greasy.
I 100% agree.
You know, and this is something that you just cannot play with. Like people, like I said, people die. She could have died hitting that tree. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that she walked away from that, like the fact that she hit that tree and she still was drunk. Like I would have thought that hitting a tree would have knocked you into some soberness, but she was still fucking wasted in that video cam. So it's like, ma'am. And then she filmed this whole last season that just aired. She filmed the whole season after this wreck. So, and they didn't press her on it and stuff like that, which I understand, like it was a pending case at the time, and I understand taking it to trial, but just the whole mentality of I will be vindicated when you knew this body cam footage was there, you seen it, you know how wasted you were. And you still took it, and everybody's like, you still took it to trial with this video of you, like, yeah, like how not on this earth are you to think that you was really about to get away with this shit? You know what I'm saying? I think the only thing that was for real saving her back then was the fact that it wasn't body cam footage back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, man. And I get the whole you don't want to spend a day in jail. I get that wholeheartedly. But 4 DUIs. You don't think that shit was gonna come up?
Yeah, listen, I'm a stickler on. At one point, I had a lawyer that was so dope. I used to tell them niggas, "You ain't even got to take my shoestrings out of my fucking shoes. I'm gone. I'm gonna be out of here." So I get the mentality she was on, and I don't even make the money she was making.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just knew I had a lawyer on retainer, right? And so I used to tell niggas the same type of shit she was on. At the same time, I'll say this. Every case I ever got, I learned. And I didn't do the same thing over and over again. This bitch got 4 DUI cases. I'm tapping my foot because I'm trying not to disrespect this lady.
Right. Right.
I'm really trying. I disrespect her already. I already told you. Lindsay knows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for this lady. But what I will say is this: lawyer aside, you're supposed to learn from the things that you're doing. She is not.
She is not.
Because she is not learning from this, you got to throw the fucking buck. Not only do you got to throw the buck at her, you got to stand on that book.
Yeah.
Just because. And listen, I've been through situations. I've drove around drunk and all that shit. And I've caught DWIs. Real talk. I'm not never telling people no shit that like I ain't did on no dumb ass foolish shit when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I learned from that and I
Yeah.
moved past that. I'm not gonna continue to do this. This bitch is as old
Yeah.
and got and is still doing the same shit that she was doing that was getting her hemmed up. If you're not putting a jacket on this bitch, then you are doing a disservice.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at this point, yes, absolutely. And then you're playing in the justice system's face, because like after you got convicted, then you're like, this is when you want to go to rehab. Okay. But then they read her for the rehab that she chose and for the amount of time that she was at the rehab. So she goes to this rehab that is pretty much like a luxury inpatient spa. So you're not even really like there to get the help. You're there on vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to say it was like a rehab in Florida that was like on the beach somewhere. Like, you know, so you're getting like a full service treatment, and then maybe you'll go to a group. Then they said that I've heard conflicting reports. I've heard that she was there under 2 weeks. I heard she was there 6 days. Now I'm hearing she was only there 2 days. So it's like, you don't, and then on top of that, you have not admitted still in your statement that you have a drinking problem. And that's the first step. You have to acknowledge the fact you will never get help. You will never get the help you need if you don't acknowledge the fact that you need help. Ma'am, you need help. You need help. And we all want the best for her, but you have to want the best for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you clearly don't want that.
Exactly. You know what? You hit the nail on the head, and I don't know I have to go further with certain things, but that was exactly what I was going to say. Is you've seen it, like you need help, and you're refusing to help. And the only reason, because I'll keep it totally transparent, I don't never like to lie to nobody, especially on social media, because that shit comes out anyway. I've never been to a rehab or none of that old extra shit. But I will say off the flip, at a time when I was alive, child, yeah, it was certain times where I was like, oh no, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
I need to stop doing shit because
Yeah.
I'm doing too much.
I feel like we've all been at that certain point where it's like, okay, I need to take a step back. You know what I'm saying? But whether you take the step back or not is where the problem lies. You know what I'm saying? And that's with anything, not just with drinking.
Yeah,
But
and that's
with
what I'm
anything.
saying. It's with anything. Audience. I just love to tell y'all the truth about me, because I don't want y'all to never be like, I don't never want nobody to pop up and be like, that nigga was doing this and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Nah, I be telling y'all the truth because I want y'all to understand. At one point in my life, oh shit, I was on a cocaine cloud. And when I say cocaine cloud, I'm not a crackhead. I ain't never did it. I wouldn't, never on that beam of scope of a crackhead.
Yeah.
Listen, that was how you party. Like, boom. If we partying, I'm gonna hit a line and I'm gonna go hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick it all night. And I realized at one point in my life, I was like, I'm not even doing this to enjoy myself. I'm actually just doing it to stay up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I have so much shit going on. Like, as soon as I get done with this, I'm gonna have to go back to this. I'm gonna have to go back to this. And then I realized, like, I'm not doing that to enjoy myself. I'm actually doing it to function. And that's when I stopped.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people, know what I'm saying, don't get into that level where they realize that, like, now you're relying off of certain things.
Yeah.
I realized that I was relying off of that. I was like, okay, if I know I got something due tomorrow, but I really want to go to this club, I'm gonna do a line because I know when I do a line, I'm gonna be up all night for this club, and then I'm gonna be able to write this presentation down.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be zooted for the next 3 days, and then for the next 3 days I'm gonna be fucking out. Like I got 3 days of good, and then 3 days of bad. And I realized, like, yeah, that's not how you supposed to live your fucking life, though.
No,
like,
no.
You can't say you
It's
living
not safe.
doing that type of jazz.
Yeah, it's not safe. It's definitely not safe. But unlike you, a lot of people don't come to that realization. You know what I'm saying? At least you were able to come to that realization. So that is.
Yeah, I do that. And the only reason why I say that is because y'all look at me and be like, bro, that nigga he be smoking his blacks, he be drinking wine, and won't he'll drink a beer, and I'm like, what y'all don't know is I used to be like, hey nigga,
yeah,
you can do this, put this shit like when I put it in perspective of putting my face in the camera, I'm like,
right.
I'm on niggas' heads like, nah, you can get you a this and this and this, and they like, hey man, why are you fucking talking to me like
step back, like.
And I had to realize, like, nah, that's not how you supposed to be for real.
Right.
Yeah. She hasn't realized that yet.
No. And and to be for real, we don't even know if jail is going to be her rock bottom. Like I've heard some people say that this ain't even her rock bottom because she's still going into it with the mentality that she is like, there's nothing wrong with her drinking. And she's not admitting what she's admitting is that she shouldn't be drinking and driving, and she shouldn't be taking antidepressants and driving. But she's like, she threw everything in the kitchen sink at the reasoning behind all of this occurring outside of the fact that you got a problem. And that's not how that works. It's not how any of this works. Tohi says that Karen is a mess. She says, shit, I'm Katie Williams' voice. Where the fuck was you at? Where the fuck was you going? Why the fuck you didn't call Ray? Right.
Man, listen.
Yeah.
I'm on 100% agreements to all of that shit. Because at one point in your life, if you're going to stick to being an addict, you have to rely on your lifelines.
But that's the crazy part about it, because it's been said on the show that she got a driver. Like Ray had got her a driver. Now we know why she had the driver, but it's like I get you. Sometimes you want to be behind the wheel. Like I totally get that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to you going out to drink, you need to have your driver, or at the very least call it Uber. You know what I'm saying? Something. But you should not be behind the wheel, especially as wasted as she was. Like, I understand, like, you trying to keep it together, and then maybe you can't, walk a straight line, and then they take you. You know what I'm saying? But the way she was, she was gone. She was gone in that body count. So then Tohi also says, it's really sad to see her downfall like this, though, man, because I did like her on the show. I do as well. And she said, pride comes before destruction, they say. Yeah. Yeah.
So the only thing I'll say is this. For me, and I'll just keep it 100, and I'm not disrespecting her, but Lindsay knows how I feel about this. Like, fuck this bitch. Fuck this bitch from the core of who she is, and how she handles business. I don't give a fuck that she's black. She is a disrespectful, non-affiliated black woman. And I'm not downplaying black women at all when I say this, but she is a non-affiliated black woman that we shouldn't give a fuck about what happens to her. And I'm so mad that the judicial system didn't string her against the wall. And the only reason why I say that is because she has all the lapse of luxury to not be involved in this type of shit. And she involves herself in that type of shit. And I think we need to be aware of these things right there in a real time. When you have people of color that have the means to not be involved in some fuckery, and they decide to get themselves in fuckery, then we have to let them burn in that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is the crazy part about all of this. Like, she's not the first housewife that's caught a DUI. She's not the first housewife that's been on body cam footage. She's probably the first Black one, though.
And it stings the most. And you know why it stings the most?
Yeah.
Because we got to do 10 times as much to even be there.
Yeah. But this is the thing with that, because one thing that doesn't come into play with the way that Bravo is handling it is that they're kind of the same across the board with all the housewives when it comes to this situation. Like this past season of the Orange County Housewives, they had a housewife that was on there that caught a DUI. She hit a house. She hit a house while she was drunk, and it was her and her dog in the car. And this past season, she was completely remorseful. She was completely sad. And then it was a whole nother situation with her that we're not going into. But when they actually specifically talked about this situation, and she had a backstory on why this situation occurred, which was legit, but it was the way that she handled it on the show. And on top of that, she wasn't taking it to trial. She completely, took responsibility. A few years ago on the New York Housewives show, there was a housewife, Luann. She didn't catch a DUI. She called public intoxication and assaulting an officer. They caught the police cam footage from inside the car, because this lady was completely belligerent. And I think she put her hands, I don't think she necessarily assaulted, quote unquote. I just think she put her hands on the cop, and she threatened the cop, told him she was going to kill him, all kind of stuff, right? But again, she accepted responsibility. She was completely remorseful, and she did a whole change. She was doing volunteer work, all kinds of stuff, because this lady, she was a countess. Like in real life, she was a countess. So the fact that she had this complete downfall from being a countess to being arrested for this all kind of stuff, and she had good reason why this stuff was going on too. But she was completely remorseful. The way that she handled it on TV was, was right. It was about, and I think she ended up getting probation for it or whatever. But it was the way that Bravo showed them, it was like because they showed the body cam footage of Karen as well. So it wasn't like they was trying to like make it seem like, oh, because she Black, we're going to do this to her and we didn't do this to the other housewives. That's not the case. They was pretty much even with everybody in regards to exposing what happened to these women. But it was just the way that they handled the situation. And Karen there was nothing about her taking any type of accountability that really pissed a lot of people off. And it was sad to watch.
So do we really want to get into the let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna do it. Let's wrap it up. I'll say this. Y'all know how I feel about this lady. I believe she needs more time, and that's just me. That's my opinion. My opinion does not have to reflect the views of the issue we talk. But my opinion is she needs way more time. I also believe that once she gets out, she's going to do the same type of bullshit. You know why? Because she is not being held accountable for this. And the reason why I say this is because as Black people, and the honest to God truth is we push 10 times harder to be in certain positions that we are. I don't care from the low man on the totem pole, from the highest man on the totem pole, or the highest woman on the totem pole, or the lowest woman on the totem pole. As Black folks, you go 10 times harder. You have to be that. For her to think that she doesn't have to do the same thing that we all do and think that she is just gonna ride on privilege is the reason why I don't like her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And I can't take that away.
really wish I do. I really wish that whatever happens to her from here on out is actually a changing and a smartening moment for her. It has to be education. She has to be educated on who she really is. And if that doesn't happen, then the next time you get caught with shit, I hope you get the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I just said, I can't take that away from you. Because this is just too serious. But yeah, they took her away from the court straight to jail or prison. It's conflicting reports on if she actually went to jail or prison, but she's in custody. So we'll see if she does the whole year, because there's other factors that can get her a shortened sentence. But yeah, she's gone. Yeah, good luck.
It took 4 DWIs for that.
Right.
At the same time, you're gonna be bunked up with a woman who had like 4 ounces of weed on her because she was having a supplement of income for her children, and they threw the book at her, and you know you're gonna go home. These are things that it just irritates my soul.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like this lady. Like,
Yeah.
I just truly don't like this lady. I'm not even gonna perpetrate a fry, like,
Yeah.
because her money got her this.
Yeah.
And not only did her money get her this, even if she has to deal time, she's gonna deal time with people who, damn, if they had an extra $5,000, they wouldn't even be in this situation right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
correct.
So
You're correct.
I just want people to like put that in perspective. Like, nah, like, she's gonna be around people who, for an extra $2,000, they would have never ever have to go to jail, but they didn't have it.
Right.
And you are actually like, this is your 4th strike.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was a first one.
Yeah.
You're dealing with your 4th strike. So I really want you to look at that and look at your demographic and realize, like, you were a part of a situation where y'all should be doing way more than what y'all doing right now. Man. You shouldn't be getting caught up in shit like that. Like, I had to look at it, and the only reason why I say that, I had to look at that in myself. Some things that I had to stop doing because, I'm in a different demographic where I can actually put people in opportunities and not do things anymore. Why would I keep being in the background and trying to put people in situations that will put them in jail?
Right. Right.
Like, you're in that same level times 10. Like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know. You irritate me, woman. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I ain't gonna disrespect you because I think you have the potential to be great.
Yeah,
but
she
I
does.
will say, man, fuck you, bitch. Like, and I'll stand on that. Like, fuck you, bitch, because you have the opportunity and the upright to do a lot of things, and you don't. You rather ride around the town drunk, you stupid bitch, and I don't respect you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's Karen Huger.
Yeah,
yep.
fuck her.
That's it's. I mean, it sucks, but
yeah, fuck her. Like, let's do that, man. Fuck her.
Yeah. Luckily, nobody was hurt in the process, so
Nobody was. Fuck her.
Yeah. All right. So, next up is Little Baby. So, Little Baby has been implicated in a situation in Atlanta. So the police, they did a press conference a few days ago, and they did not say his name, but um people doing searches and having people in places where they can get information from. So the word got out on what
They
famous
said it's
rapper,
government. They did say it's government now.
not in that press conference.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like initially you had to do some searching and whatnot, or know people and whatnot, and that's when you found out what particular rapper they were talking about. But in the initial press conference, they did not give a name. But they were talking real greasy. They was just like, know, this particular famous rapper knew better, and because of what he did, it set off a situation to where two 13-year-olds were unalive.
No,
So
11. It was an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old.
I thought, see, they said two 13-year-olds. Okay, so it
Nope.
was 11-year-old and 13-year-old.
That's 11-year-old and a
Because
13-year-old.
it was three kids that got shot, and two of them passed away.
It was an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old.
Okay. So, yeah. Basically, what occurred was Little Baby did a music video in a hood in Atlanta that wasn't his hood. And he's affiliated, I don't know how intricate he is affiliated, but he's affiliated with some type of gang. And then the neighborhood that he was in was a rival gang's neighborhood. So they're trying to say that him doing this video set off a gang war.
Yep.
And because it set off a gang war, they were going back and forth, shooting each other in in neighborhoods and stuff. And there was this one particular incident where these kids got shot, two of them passed away. And they're saying that he is the reason why this all jumped off.
Yep.
When the reports initially came out, it was just like, how the hell you gonna blame him for shooting a music video on why this popped off? But then it was more information that was coming out. But I still think that way. But now I'm starting to see why they're trying to put two and two together. But yeah.
I get that they're putting two and two together. I get that 100%. At the same time that they're putting two and two together, the thing that I know, I don't know nothing about Atlanta, so I can't tell you shit about Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God truth, anybody that's listening to us right now, I don't know nothing about Atlanta, but what I know about is street culture, and then another thing I know about is gang culture. It is sanctions that you got to go past on certain things. So if I want to do a music video in a certain area, nah, I ain't got to check in. I ain't got to do none of that old fake ass bullshit. I ain't got to do none of that. But you know what I have to do? I have to talk to somebody who is affiliated with this neighborhood. And I ain't talking about the nigga that just push weed over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the nigga that actually calls shots over here.
Right.
You gotta connect with that guy. Because it's a business venture.
Yeah.
It's all business. I don't believe that the baby did this on some trying to spark a rival gang thing up. I'm pretty sure he had sanctions to be over there.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
At the same time that I say that, I'll say this. We have watched some of our greatest artists go to time because of what they said and what they did when it came to music. Case in point, we watched Sibo go to jail because of a killing that happened that he was never involved with. And it was proven that he was never involved with, but he talked about.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I pray for the baby. Or little baby, excuse me. I pray for the best for little baby, because being affiliated doesn't mean that you're involved in things. You're just affiliated. But Rico ain't got no motherfucking remorse. All they need is for a motherfucker to say, I am a part of the Blue and Black Crips. That's all they need you to say in real time. Like, I want y'all to know this on the Rico law. This is how shit go. A motherfucker can make $30 million on rapping. All they need is one of those verses to say, shit, yeah, I like the fingernail wave game. And then that's what they put the Rico on you. They'll say you involved in everything. He was not involved in that.
Yeah.
At the same time, he was not involved in that. All of them people affiliated with something that he was involved in. And I want people to understand this, because I want y'all to know how this happens. He probably will never go to jail, but what he had to literally do was start over. So he lost a lot of money. And the fact, like, in a business venture, he had to stop his record label to like unfold his record label. He lost millions of dollars doing that, but he had to do that because, once this goes to trial, if 4PF is involved in this, then he would have lost way more money than it was for him to dissolve it right now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's certain things that they like, nah, he's just trying to get himself out of he just trying to get himself out of trouble. No, he ain't got nothing to do with that shit. What he has to do is he has to understand that he's gonna lose millions of dollars because he has to dislocate himself. And I'm gonna say it just like that. He has to, because most people say you gotta disenfranchise yourself with certain people
or disassociate.
Disassociate, but disfranchise because he has a business.
Right.
What I'm saying is, no, he has to dislocate. Like, he literally has to break that shit apart.
Yeah. Yeah, got to do more than just changing the name of the record label.
Yeah, he has to. And that's what he's doing. He is dislocating himself from certain things. And I'll take y'all back to this because I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to what's going on. With that shit that's going on in Atlanta, the powers that be are trying to get a lot of niggas off the streets.
Yeah.
And a lot of those niggas are affiliated with rappers. And so the way you do that is you try to disassociate yourself with a lot of these street niggas.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. And I understand what he's doing. At the same time I say this, I'll say this. Because people don't believe this. But I know this because we live this life. I ain't even gonna say me. We live this life. Baby going to jail. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Baby going to jail. Baby might go to jail for a year. Baby might go to jail for 6 months. But baby going to jail.
I think with the fact that these two kids passed away, I think that's pretty much what's gonna send him. Because when somebody passes away, especially when it's a kid, they gonna need somebody's head on the chopping block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
he did everything he's supposed to. The reason why he ain't gonna stay in jail for long is because he defunct his record label.
Mm-hmm.
So his record label that he was pushing ain't there no more. He totally defunct himself from that. He totally defunct himself from the gang life. But that charge of being in a rival gang area, that's gonna stick.
Yeah. And they're really gonna tie those instances together. Like they have no qualms about doing that. So
Yeah, and that's the only downfall. I look at it because motherfuckers talking about the Young Thug case and how they was trying to bring him a part of that, and I'm like, yeah, he was a part of that indictment, so I give you that. But what I will say is that the things that I know is just because he knew off the flip that this was a rival gang's territory that he chose to do a music video in. They're gonna make it seem like that's his fault. Period.
mm-hmm. Yep. They're gonna make it seem like that he did this on purpose and that this is what his intentions was.
Exactly. And I'm not even gonna say he did it on purpose, but strays are strays, and you get you get in trouble for strays.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. But what I'm saying is that that's how they're gonna play it. You know, they're gonna play it like this is what he wanted. That he wanted to start this gang war, and this gang war led to these two kids passing away.
Yeah.
Like they're definitely gonna play that up in the media like that. And it's and playing it up in the media like that, it's gonna compromise whenever this goes to trial. It's gonna compromise the jury. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I will tell y'all this first because a lot of people ain't telling y'all this. I'll tell you this first. It is not an indictment for Lil Baby. Lil Baby does not have an indictment on him.
Right.
He doesn't. The indictment is of the situation. And the people that, the people that was a part of that. That's why he defunct his record label.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of that is a part of that. That's why he got indicted.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a Little Baby discussion. It is the people that you are affiliated with a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people need to really understand that because a lot of people are just saying like, nah, he's getting blackballed. And I will say this for my people who is in my age bracket to understand. This is the same thing they did to Sebo. So if you understand the same thing that they did to Sebo, you know Lil Baby is gonna do some time for this.
Yeah.
Unless he has enough money. Sebo didn't have enough money.
I think Lil Baby do got enough money, but I don't know that man's pockets.
Exactly. And like none of us do.
Yeah. So. But
we remember when Sebo went through this because Sebo talked about an actual murder.
Yeah.
And they sent him to jail for that. And he had nothing to do with it. And evidence showed that he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
He just knew about an actual murder.
Yeah.
This is what I be telling people to pay attention to. Because if we seen Sebo go through this, if you don't think Lil Baby gonna do some time, y'all crazy out your rabbit ass mind. This was a 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. From what they talking about, that 13-year-old was just 13 that day.
Yeah.
So they only had a couple of minutes to be 13.
Yeah. The press conference, the cop said 27 minutes. He was 13, 27 minutes. 27 minutes.
If you don't think Lil Wayne, you don't think Lil Baby is going to jail for that, y'all crazy out y'all rabbit ass mind. And they ain't got nothing to do with Lil Baby. Real shit.
Yeah.
But they gonna blame somebody.
Yeah.
Because that's what hurt people do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like they are really going to play this up in the media and they are really they're. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's unfortunate all the way around.
Exactly. Because Lil Baby ain't got no time. He has no reason to do time for this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Sebo had no reason to do time for why he did time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just be telling, I come from that cloth. I understand what it is. They're gonna throw that shit on you. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your lyrics. It's what you were saying. It's what you were doing. Bop, bop, bop. Rival gang. The thing that's gonna stick him the most is you went to an area and did a video knowing damn well who you're affiliated with is not who they affiliated with.
Yeah. You know, the part that irritates me about this is they're not starting at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? They're starting with Little Baby, but why is it that we have neighborhoods that we quote unquote can't go to? Why is it that gang culture is not eradicated? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not starting at the beginning with this. Why is it that like this is occurring? You know, and it's like
I would
he's
say
not
this off the flip.
I mean, he's a big name, of course. That's why you're doing the press conference and whatnot. But he's not a big player in this.
So this is the thing. So I always say this to you, because I love you. Do you really understand that the person that has real big backing, they know how to put that chessboard together where it's never gonna go against them?
I get it, but I'm just saying, just the point of it is irritating because
it's so dumb.
Yeah,
it's so dumb
because you're not starting at the beginning. You're not going after the people that's really at fault. It looked like.
Yeah, they're not. You look at it and you think about it, you just like, damn, Baby taking a fall for this. But at the same time, Baby taking a fall for this, you got to think. There's people that's affiliated with Baby. It's people that's affiliated with not only Baby, but the record label. And all of these niggas are not executive. These niggas are straight street. They're street. That's the thing is, the last thing I seen before this even happened, Baby had a interview where Baby was like, he defunct his label because he was like, nah, this shit can get me in trouble. And I'm like, damn, like, he knew that this is before any of this was even happening. He was like, nah, the reason why I defunct the label is because people were doing things and affiliated with me that I wasn't a part of. So I knew that this was going to come against me. So he defunct the label, and then boom, all of a sudden he got this case. So he knew this shit was about to happen.
He knew it was coming. Yeah.
He knew it was coming. He knew that these motherfuckers were coming at him because there ain't nothing he doing, because he's an artist. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, Baby's an artist. He has a record label. He had, know what I'm saying? Because that's what you do. You sell a couple of million records. You're supposed to get your own record label. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to have your own affiliates. But the thing is, the affiliates were doing some shit that was outside of what he knew they were doing.
Yeah.
And now he's caught up in this bullshit because he decided to do a video somewhere where he knew he wasn't supposed to do it. That was just him just standing on people's neck. And I get what it is to be petty. I know what it is to be petty. But at the same time, he didn't know the outcome was going to be the outcome. He didn't know that 11 and that 13-year-old boy was going to lose their life. He didn't know that. He just came up for a video.
Yeah.
And he gonna go to jail for that. Like, real shit. Like, if he don't go to jail for that, he gonna be on probation for a long ass time for that.
Yeah.
Like, Case in point, if they say, "Oh no, we ain't gonna give him no jail time," they gonna give him the same thing that young Thug got. Like
Yeah.
15 years, you can never go to Atlanta.
Right. 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 So I don't know, man. It's just,
Which is a trick bag.
it really
If you
is.
catch me in Atlanta, I'm going to jail for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you know you're gonna catch me in Atlanta. That's the one thing I love about Young Thug shit is because he decided to just get the fuck out of there. But I don't think that nigga's gonna get the fuck out of there.
Where did he go?
Soon as he got all his clothes and was free, that nigga went to Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, and that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I just hope he don't go the NBA YoungBoy route and still get in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know, Thug ain't on that type of time.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so
And
either.
you know what? Because I'll be telling people because certain people look at it and be like, they won. I'm like, nah, they didn't win. They still trapped.
Yeah.
They still trapped. This is the thing. And okay, so this is my conspiracy theory for all of y'all that do not know. They still trying to find a way. And when I say they, you know who I mean when I say they. I ain't talking about just white people. I'm talking about the powers that be. They make sure that you're still on a slave mentality. And so that's what they're going to do. That's why a lot of people go to Wyoming and they go to different spots. What they tell you is like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? The interest rate is low and you can own like all these acres of land and woom. They tell you that. But what they don't tell you is, why are they only allowing these rappers to do it? They doing that because because they're still able to make their money from it. They're still able to put you in a place that is out of the bounds, so you ain't got to do no extra shit. It's out of bounds, but they're still able to capitalize off of the shit that you talk about. All of the degrading women, drug usage, cocaine selling, dope selling, period. They can capitalize off that, but they can still put you in a bubble. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
For a lot of them. If you don't believe so, I will always tell people to think about it. Like Kanye think he won. Kanye think he won at the same time. He still got to cash his checks to the same people that he talk about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did. They still put you on a plantation, my nigga. Now the plantation is Wyoming. Because that's where everybody goes. Taxes are low. Not only their taxes are low, you are able to still move about because don't nobody do shit in Wyoming. So you're still able to move about. Like you have like the weird. When I grew up, nigga, if you was on, if you had a tag on your motherfucking foot, you couldn't go 100 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, you go to Wyoming, you got a tag on your foot, you can go 1,000 motherfucking square miles.
Yeah.
Nigga, you know what that means? I can travel about the country.
Yeah. Yeah. The Blackman Show says, why is it that more times than not, it's black people that gotta pay that penalty? If they shot a movie, would that production company have to pay the hood peon fee? I think it depends on the neighborhood, to be honest. Because I have heard before, not necessarily paying the fee, but they would have to come and, speak to the powers that be.
Yeah.
I believe they did that with Boys in the Hood.
You got to do wherever you go through. And this is something I've seen in real time. Whatever hood you at, you got to speak to somebody. Like even when you got hoods where you like, man, them niggas ain't got no leader. Like, you know what I'm saying? All them niggas just claim the 50s. They just wah. Like, if you want to do a video shoot there where everything is cool, it's a nigga you got to talk to.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you'd be
especially if
surprised.
it's not your neighborhood. If it's your neighborhood, that's something different. But if it's not your neighborhood, like, you got to make sure everything is cool. Now, if it's like a major production, like if it was like Paramount or something like that, they are going to have the clearance from the city. They're going to have a whole bunch of cops. They're going to have all that type of stuff. So you ain't got to talk to nobody like that is like the neighborhood drug dealer or anything.
You know what? I would even correct that because I seen that. I seen that when they was making that zombie movie, not the zombie movie, but the zombie series with the I don't know, This Is Us, whatever shit that shit was. That's why they didn't do it in Kansas City. Well, they did certain things in Kansas City. It was certain things that they didn't do in Kansas City because certain niggas wouldn't sign out for it. So I'll say that it's really niggas that you need to talk to. You know, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Governments. That's why I tell all of y'all to pay attention to your inner city government first before you start trying to jump the gun and trying to say, my vote don't matter because I voted for this and then this president became president. Nah, you did that, but you also didn't really vote for what's going on in your city.
Yeah.
Because you'd be surprised. And I'm honest to God, cause you'd be surprised how much shit it's really like. How can I word this? Nah, I just keep it a bean. I ain't even I don't touch dope no more, so I can honestly say this. You'd be surprised how much shit is ran through dope and also through who knows who. I know motherfuckers in big offices that started off as a nigga that ran dope through here, and they don't do it anymore, but they still in the office.
Yeah.
Like I brought Jasmine around certain people. They be like, oh yeah, that's your girl. Won't you? And she be like, damn, how you know this individual? I'm like, because I know him from the streets. Like, he ain't from the streets, and I'll be like, yeah, you be surprised.
Yeah, right, and that's true, But like when I'm saying like, as far as like big productions and stuff like that, if they were to go into a city and say they want to do something in the neighborhood, and they're going to have all their security, they're going to get the clearances from the city and stuff like that. But then, you also got scouts that scout out certain areas, and then they'll talk to people and whatnot. They may talk to somebody that's locally that may tell them, hey, you may want to do this, or let me handle this for you, or something like that, to where like the big production will be okay, coming to that area. But yeah, like them going to talk to somebody, like the director going to talk to somebody or anything like that. Yeah, no, that wouldn't happen.
Like that whole production that happened with what is that? This Is Us, like that zombie shit with the like that shit went through certain people that I know.
Yeah, because
I'm not a big wig. Like, yeah, I'm not a big wig, so I'm not saying like I was a part of those conversations because I wasn't. But I do know the reason why you were able to see the tunnels in Kansas City, and why you was able to see like that north end front where everybody caved in and all that, it was because they sanctioned that off. That was actually like they didn't do like CGI or anything. They like they filmed it there, and then they did a CGI after.
Yeah.
And I seen that happen in real time.
Yeah.
Because I just, you know what I'm saying, I know certain people. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. I'm like, man, this shit look weird. He like, nah, once we put that together, it's gonna be dope. And I'm like, man, what? I'm like, cause it looked stupid.
Yeah.
Like when I seen it up front, I was like, that shit looks stupid as a motherfucker. He was like, nah, like wait till it happen. And then when I seen it in real time, the scene that I'm talking about, when I seen it in real time when they played it, I'm like, oh, they did the fool right here.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's Little Baby. Of course, this is a very, very early stage developing story, so we will be revisiting it as more information is made public and whatnot. So, last thing that we have is Rolling Stone. So Rolling Stone, Australia, Rolling Stone Australia, put out a list of, let me go back to it. Oh shit. Did I lose it?
Damn, we 225 in? Like,
yeah.
Damn, we doing a lot of talking.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying we spent a lot on Lil Wayne giving him his flowers, which were deserving, but nonetheless. It's 50 terrible songs on great albums. So this was a whole list of 50 songs, but the one that has pissed everybody off to the highest level of festivity is number 20. And that is Michael Jackson's Lady in My Life. They have deemed this as the weakest song on the Thriller album. I am of the population that does not believe that at all. Not in the least. And the fact that people are actually trying to say that it's Lady in My Life. Like, if first off, none of the songs on Thriller is weak. Let's just say that. However, if you had a knife to your throat and pick a song, it would not be Lady in My Life.
I'm about to go through it right now. So
for me, it would be The Girl Is Mine. But yeah.
The Girl Is Mine is always going to be one of those things where it's always going to be the weakest link.
Yeah. It's always been the weakest link. Like, I understand how big Paul McCartney is. I get it. I understand that this was a big deal between him and Michael to be on a song together. And comparing that song to other people's masterpieces, it is a good song. However, the song, for one, did not age well. And two, every time I've played Thriller, if I don't catch it in time, I'm gonna skip it. If I don't catch it in time and it plays, it takes a minute for me to be like, all right, because that song, I just can't get jiggy with it. Can't get jiggy with this shit. But after it starts playing for a minute, I'm like, all right, whatever. The doggone girl is mine.
Because I'm going through, sorry, audience. I'm really like going through like Michael Jackson albums. And I'm like, I really can't see a song that was like better than this. Like, as far as R&B, I don't know if y'all know about Michael Jackson, but when Michael Jackson came off with Off the Wall, that was a smash. And then he said, I don't really have a lot of R&B songs, and I'm an R&B artist. And like they were like, nah, just stay on this pop rant. And he was like, no, like I want to make songs, period. I don't want to be put in that. Like, you got to understand the king of pop is Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael Jackson never wanted to be the king of pop.
Right.
Michael Jackson wanted to be somebody that was known for making great R&B songs. I don't think people know that. And so, Lady of My Life, I'll put my phone down because I this is things I know. That is one of the most phenomenal songs because you would think about "Hey Lover."
I always go
That's
to
one
that.
of the songs that everybody knows was a remake.
Mm-hmm.
But then y'all forget about Joe. And then let me grab my phone and go into the 113 songs that was samples of this song, Lady in My Life. Do you know that 3-6 Mafia, let's just be quiet right there. Let's just say this. It's 3-6 Mafia. Let's just give them enough flowers right there. They remade the shit out of this song countless times.
What songs?
I'm about to pull it up.
So let's just, while you pulling that up, going back to Joe. Now, I'm not the biggest Joe fan, but I absolutely love Good Girls. And I did not know that beginning was Lady in My Life.
Lady in My Life. Right there was Lady in My Life.
Yeah. Gotta believe there's a rollie for me somewhere in this world.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop, gonna search till I drop, till I find a girl.
Let's see if I can pull it up. Let me do this. Okay, Lady in My Life, because I want y'all to know, like how this shit is a staple and how they had no business saying this.
Yeah. But while you looking that up, just in case nobody even know, fun fact, Joe wrote Escape's Softest Place on Earth.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He did. And some people argue that that's their best song. So the Blackman Show says they tweaking. That guitar at the beginning is classic in and of itself. Hey Love by LL would be nothing without that joint, right? The Girl Is Mine is weak, but it's kind of the predecessor to The Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica. Yeah, one can argue that. One can definitely argue that. But yeah. But if like I said, a knife to your throat, pick a song, it would be The Girl Is Mine. It would not. But then we also have to consider the source. We're talking about Rolling Stone Australia. And we all know, as far as globally, that's one of the racist places in the world. So yeah, I can see. And the Beatles is like idolized with white folks. So I can definitely see the girl is mine not even being on their radar.
Lady in My Life was sampled by 3-6 Mafia, Juicy J, not Juicy J, DJ Paul Wall.
No, not Paul Wall. DJ Paul.
DJ Paul, excuse me. Yeah, I don't want to say Paul Wall.
Yeah.
Fucking 7 times.
So that was their favorite song.
Yeah, exactly. 7 songs through multiple albums. Like, and because I'm looking at it now and I'm like, nah, they went through from 92 to 97. They sampled that shit.
I wonder, was they like, not again? You don't want to pick no other song on Thriller?
No, this DJ Paul, you never knew he was sampling the same shit over and over again.
Right.
This DJ Paul was making shit and you like, damn, this shit sound brand new. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There was some shit he was getting from other, and he was getting it from the incomparable Michael Jackson.
Right. So what were the songs? What's one of the most notable songs?
Let me find it.
Because I'm wondering if it's no, it's not that one. Because I was thinking a Late Night Tip, but no, that's another example.
I Want to Smoke by Gangsta Pat, Porno Movie by 3-6 Mafia. These are two that I see right now. These are in the front run.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's go on to the second page. Long and Hard by DJ Paul. Let's see. Ooh. All right, now on the second page. My Ex-Boyfriend by Gangsta Boo. Lady by Big B, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we got. They said it was 7, so I gotta look up 7. They don't have the rest of the songs.
Okay.
But they saying they sampled them the most.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and shout out to 3-6 Mafia because they know how to work a sample.
And they sampled Lady in My Life.
Yeah.
DJ Paul, like this ain't Michael Jackson samples. This is Lady in My Life, 113 songs. DJ Paul sampled that shit millions of times.
Right. So it can't be a weak song.
No, it cannot be. Like, this is only what's on the charts. Ain't no telling what DJ Paul did with Lady in My Life.
Right.
Because DJ Paul is a phenomenal motherfucking mix maker.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got to give him that.
Yeah, come on. Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
Right. But as far as Thriller is concerned, if Knife to Your Throat, pick a song.
Okay. I have to pull up the album. So don't let me be disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. I just had it up.
So Thriller as the album.
Okay, you got Wanna Be Starting Something, Baby Be Mine, The Girl Is Mine, Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, PYT, and Lady in My Life.
So what, I would down?
Knife to the Throat. You got to pick a song.
Human Nature.
Human Nature?
Human Nature.
Why Human Nature?
Human Nature. It is something about that makes me remember when I was a baby.
You have memory from when you were a baby?
Yeah.
Just laying in the crib looking at the sun?
No, like the biggest memory I have when I was a baby was my mother holding me, and I was between my mother and my Aunt Vine, and I was able to see the sun. And I stared, I stared in the sun, went to sleep while staring at the sun, while holding. Oh, excuse me, while my Aunt Vine held me. Uh, and that's the only memory. Not the only memory because I would just have to decode everything. But that's what I remember. And she always, every time I tell her that, she be like, "Man, you was like 3 years old." Like yeah, that's. I remember that.
Okay. See, I'm thinking like months when you say baby. But
Nah.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Because I got memories from 2 years old, so I get it. So with that memory, that makes you think human nature is the weakest?
No, Human Nature is my favorite. Like I'm my
Oh.
bad. I didn't hear what you said. Like
Yeah.
I
I
know
was
what I'm
like,
saying.
that's a
When I
good
hear that,
memory.
that's the song that plays when I go through that memory.
Okay, I got you. So that's your favorite song on Thriller. So what would be the weakest song, like, if you had to pick a song?
The weakest song, and I hate to say it like that, but the weakest song would be Thriller, and that's the only reason why that's the weakest song is because that was a song that everybody knew.
Now one can argue that's not the song that everybody knew. But
Thriller,
yeah.
Thriller was a song everybody knew. That was the one that he made the whole thing about.
But Thriller wasn't the first single.
Thriller was not the first single, but at the same time, if you ask anybody else that's not us, they're gonna tell you Thriller. And for me, that's gonna be the weakest song because that's not the, you know what I'm saying? That's not the song that I knew Off the Wall was dope for.
Well, Thriller's not on Off the Wall, so but I mean one can make the argument that Thriller's not the best song, but it's the most impactful. And also one can make an argument that it is the best song because if you actually like sit down and like really read the lyrics and listen to what he's saying, that's a dope ass song.
Okay, so I'm getting you. I gotta be totally 100. Like let's put it in perspective of what the Thriller album was.
Yeah, because I feel like the song, actual song Thriller doesn't get the flowers that it deserves. Like if you just look at it just being a song and listen to him actually saying the words and actually reading the words and all this kind of stuff. Like I think that we get so caught up in what the song as a whole, when I'm talking about like the video and then the album, I think we get so caught up in what that meant to the world that we kind of lose the actual song.
So I mean that's the thing because my thing is I want to be on some to do Off the Wall album, not the Thriller album. Because Off the Wall album was Lady in My Life.
No, Lady in My Life was on Thriller.
Man, I'm about to look it up right now.
Yes, I just went through the whole track list. It's Wanna Be Starting Something, Baby Be Mine, The Girl Is Mine, Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, PYT, and Lady in My Life. Lady in My Life is the last track.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. Off the wall.
Okay, so singles from Thriller. They never did Lady in My Life. So let's go into what it actually the album is. Hold on. Production, track listing. That's what I want to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it never. And so that's why people were saying that that's the weakest link, is because now that I look at it now, I'm going through numbers. That's why they're saying it's the weakest link, is because it wasn't a quote unquote single.
No,
it was put out there, but it was on the album.
Yeah, it's on the Thriller album. I feel like it didn't really catch me because it's a slow, straight up R&B song. That's just is what it is. And white people wasn't really gravitating to R&B like that in the early 80s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And and then when you look at all the other songs, and then on top of that, you know, you're not going to pick The Girl Is Mine because you're a white person from Australia that loved the Beatles. So it's like, when you put all that into perspective, okay. But is it accurate? Absolutely not. And again, you got to consider the source.
Nah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, all right, getting off of what we were on, let's just understand that, like, this song has been sampled so many times to let you know that this is not a shabby ass song. Not only is it not a shabby song, it's one of the best songs that was ever created when it was created. Like, so, for production wise, it was dope because in the early 2000s they still use that same production to even make different songs.
Yep. Shout out to Quincy Jones.
Like, so this is a phenomenal record.
And
well,
in the harmony,
the weakest. Nah. If we're gonna get into Thriller, let's just keep it a bean, and I'll pull up Thriller right now. So, and you know, I'm just a regular nigga that just listen to music, but Baby Be Mine is probably the weakest on that album. Not that that's not a great song. It's what has been sampled from it.
I can see where you're going with picking Baby Be Mine.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that that's a bad song.
It's
saying
far from
out of all the songs from that album,
it's the least impactful.
Thank you.
It's the least impactful. But is it the weakest? No. I'm not gonna pick Baby Be Mine. Baby Be Mine, the notes alone, you ain't even gotta give me the beat. Just Michael can sing that a cappella and that motherfucker gonna go hard.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah, Baby Be Mine is awesome. But least impactful, sure, because I bet half the people that listen to this probably have to pull it up to remember how it go.
And that's the thing. It's like the only person that can ever do this song over, they have to have a incredible cadence.
Yeah, I'm thinking Chris Brown can do Baby Be Mine over.
Chris Brown can definitely do Baby Be Mine.
Yeah, I can see him doing that and PYT. I would love it if he were to do PYT.
He's not gonna do PYT.
He's not gonna touch Michael. Period.
That though.
I don't think he'll touch Michael.
Baby Be Mine, just because Chris Brown he has a beautiful cadence. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, and he's not gonna try to be Michael.
Yeah, right. He's gonna make it.
If
his
you
own.
ever do PYT, you have to try to be Michael because you're never gonna do that again. That's the thing. It's like
Okay.
it's this young man that did he did What's Your Residence from Marvin Gaye, and he did a phenomenal job doing that song because he sounded just like Marvin Gaye. At the same time, I say this: when are we ever gonna hear music just sounding like you though?
Yeah.
We won't never hear it.
Right,
You know why we won't never hear it? Because he already did What's Your Residence.
Mm-hmm.
And he did What's Your Residence sounding so much like Marvin Gaye, they're only going to want to hear somebody that sounds like Marvin Gaye. And Marvin Gaye is an individual that has so much of an iconic voice where unless you're duplicating him word for word, you are never going to be who you are never going to be an R&B artist that's going to stand on your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did a phenomenal job remaking that.
Uh-huh.
I will 100% guarantee and stand on that. At the same time that I say that is he don't have the vocal prowess to turn around and do what Marvin Gaye did to solidify itself from being a different artist. Marvin Gaye was so dope because he was able to tell you what was going on in harmony, which nobody else can ever take from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He literally told you, like, hey man, it's fucked up. But he told you that in a harmony where you was like, damn, I get it. And it sounds smooth, but the shit that you saying is horrible. It is horrible. Like, and so yeah, it's good for somebody to be good enough to like make his like bedroom songs. Or can you make a song that can relate to you? And you probably can't.
Yeah. 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 Well, that was you know, Lady in My Life by Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it's a disservice for people to say that was sorry.
Yeah.
If you think that's sorry, then I'll say this. Any R&B song from here on out is trash.
Yeah, you can't put Lady in My Life and Weak and Trash and all in the same sentence. You can't. You just can't. There's not, to be honest, there's nothing on Thriller. Like Thriller shouldn't even been a part of this conversation for that list, but whatever.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. If you're gonna do that, then everything else is trash. Yeah. Everything Chris Brown has been doing, trash. Everything that Music Soul Child has been doing, trash. Everything Lenny Kravitz ever tried to make his mark on, trash. Like, I mean, that's how you gotta look at it. If you're gonna say Lady in My Life is the weakest link, then everything else is fucking trash moving on forward. Yeah. Because again, Lady in My Life has been sampled 113 fucking times.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, you know, like I've been saying, consider it a source, you know, but yeah, that was that. So I don't have any final thoughts. So Jerry's final thought, take it away.
Ooh, thank you. Jerry's final thoughts is this, and I love to keep it transparent with y'all because I love y'all, man. I love talking to y'all. It's something about being in this atmosphere makes me just like to tell the truth. Because I think it's one of those things where you can't sugarcoat it. What's is on the interwebs is on the interwebs. So I gotta tell the truth. One thing I'll say is this. This is the first day after my daughter's passing. My daughter passed on the 28th. For people who are listening to us that don't know how long we've been here. My daughter passed on the 28th. And it's very hard for me to actually like be around y'all, play with y'all on certain levels. This year was the first year that I actually had a situation of I was calm. For a long time, it's been 3 years now. It's been a long time where I wasn't calm. This year I was very calm. I had a lot of things happen to me on my on the work side of things, and then just on the side of just life, and I was just able to just like calmly walk through it. And I think that's just, you know what I'm saying, my daughter always been a part of me and helping me guide that. I say that to say this. All of us is going to go through trials and tribulations and pains. Well, we have to understand that all of those things are stepping stones. And we're going to walk on these stepping stones. And if we want to be great, we're going to be great. If you choose to think about it and you choose to let it be a hindrance to you, that just is what it is. It's never going to change you. So I always remember the thing that gets you old is you don't want to advance and you don't want to grow. I will never be in a situation where I don't want to advance and I don't want to grow. And I want all y'all to be on the same level. And until we get on that same level, we probably always feud. But that's all right, because I still love you. And as always, take care of yourself and others.
All right. Thank you for Jerry's final thought. And, rest in peace to Crimson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been picking that shit up for like a week now. Like, yeah, like my baby watching.
Yep.
So she's looking at me like, hey, daddy, like you doing your thing.
Right.
Things you need to work on. And I get it. I understand. I'm going to work on it too, baby.
Right. So that's your angel.
Yeah.
So, and this was episode 150 of the Ish We Talk, and we will see you guys for episode 151. Bye.
Exactly.